Welcome to the Take Cover Podcast with your hosts, Jacob and Chase. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't ever watch the numbers, so I have actually no data to support that.
He is absolutely live, boys. So, all that being said, ladies and gents, it is Take Cover Podcast live Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
With your boy, Drake Renfro, Jacob Payne, Chase Cranley, yours truly, and the magical Ciroc.
Oh, God.
We're going to get those shots out of the way now.
What's up, Ted? Welcome, man.
Ted's already in here? Hell yeah.
What's up?
I told Ted he needs to get in here, man.
Woo.
All right, boys.
What's this one to, Jacob?
This one is to returning life to normal and putting the end to the science fiction movie we've been living for the past 2 months.
Hell yeah,
Okay,
brother.
let's get it.
Cheers.
Whoa. That'll do it.
Oh, my.
That'll wake you up on a Wednesday afternoon, won't it?
Tastes like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, that's why I like that apple.
That'll hurt your soul.
Damn near hurt your fucking feelings drinking
You're
that.
going to wake up real mad tomorrow.
Drake, how you been, man?
Man, I've been good. Just working, trying to stay active, even though gyms are closed. That's been one of the biggest things, life-changing mine right now. Gyms are closed. You can't even go work out. I can't train every day, and that's something I do 6-7 days a week.
Yup.
So it's like, when that cuts out half your life, it's like, what do you do?
Already.
Already got a call. I don't know if this is related, so hopefully it's
Let's
not
find
like
out.
my STD screen come back.
Oh, shit. You might as well.
Oh, okay.
I totally forgot. My bad.
Yo!
Hey, you are live on Take Cover Podcast.
What's cracking?
Hey, that's my cousin. What's good? He's about to talk hella shit, so I hope you're ready for some BS that's about to happen. he might be the
I got a
wildest
question
person.
for Drake Renfro.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
Go ahead.
When are we going to see you in another super fight?
Okay. Well, whenever this stuff ends, hopefully we'll have
I
another.
can't hear you. Speak up.
I said whenever this coronavirus ends and we're able to do any tournaments, we'll get something set up in line. It'll be in the works.
Are you going to get the W this time?
I got the W last time.
Okay. You win that.
Fair enough.
When are you going to get out of Kentucky and go to the big league?
Oh, here he goes. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. When are you going to start producing more Photoshops? Because I love them. I do many things with your pictures.
Oh, my God. All right, I'll see you, cuz. Much love.
All right. Y'all have a good podcast later.
All right, later,
Thanks for
fam.
calling in, man.
I saw the 812. I was going to be like, nope, I already know who's doing it.
That is a good question he brings up, though, man, because just a couple months ago, you was at the gym 2-3 times a day,
Yeah.
training, getting ready.
Every day.
Staying ready, so you didn't have to get ready.
Exactly. Stay ready, so don't get ready. That's the motto.
See, you in there getting rounds in with everybody, man. What's
That's
on the slate for your future, man?
Well, once this stuff ends, of course, not everything's ending. Of course, we're still, doing workouts, running outside, doing things that we can. I mean, you can only do so much right now, so you got to kind of stay under the radar and not do a bunch of craziness.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't train, so everybody's affected by that. All right, not just us, everybody around the whole U.S. So it's like you just got to stay the most fit you can possibly. Mm-hmm. Like that's really the only thing we can do.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, as we're taking shots of Ciroc.
Drinking dark beer.
Yeah.
Well, man, I do want to ask you, in a follow-up question to that, what's kind of been keeping you motivated now that you're kind of completely out of your rhythm, your routine with training every day? What's keeping you going in the mornings when you wake up and you don't want to do anything?
I mean, thankfully, I've been able to work full time, which even like a lot of like the parents and stuff, they don't even know I work full time. They just think I just go in there and just teach and train. That's all I do. Which no, I work full time, so of course I have to get up. So that's one thing. Once you get up, you're up. Yeah. Like I've always had that thing. Like once you wake up, I always wake up like 30, 45 minutes before you have to be somewhere and just relax, chill, get your day going, set what you're gonna get set out to do, And then usually I'll make plans like right after work. Like I won't go home and just sit down because I'm like everybody else. If I go home and sit down, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's going to keep me from just sitting there watching TV series all day, which of course we're all victim to that. We all do it.
Right.
But no, I just try to at least go do something, go run, go try to do some body weights lifting, lifting my dad's garage or do something like that. But
You lift your entire garage?
no, I mean, I tried.
I mean, that's
but
pretty fucking impressive, bro.
it didn't work
That
out.
garage didn't fucking want that, did it?
That's when my dad had to move because he had to get rid of it. But no, man, it's just trying to stay active because you got to think, I mean, because if we don't stay active, how do we expect everybody around us to not stay active? So it's like, if we kind of just throw in the towel, I'm like, all right, we're just going to not do nothing for however long this takes. What kind of leaders do we look, or what kind of teammates do we look like? Because whenever we do get back to training, we at least need to be in the top possible condition of whenever we left.
Right.
Like, so it's kind of like we kind of letting our teammates down, like, man, we still got to stay active. We can't just get lazy. We can't gain 30, 40 pounds and then come back and expect to be the same athlete we were when we left. Right. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do, but you should be doing everything you can do to stay on top of your grind. So
Definitely. You know what you should do? You should just immediately schedule a tournament the day after the quarantine ends.
Oh, you don't understand, man. I was supposed to do the Chicago IBJJF Open, and it was like the first IBJJF tournament I've ever competed in. And like I was signing up for and everything, and it was April 5th. So
Damn.
Look what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was the first, because I've been competing in IBJJF my whole time. I've been competing since I was 16. So I was
Really?
like, man, I was looking forward to doing one of them. I was like, heck yeah, let's go check it out. Let's see what it's like. But now we weren't able to do it, so now it's like we gotta wait. Whatever's next. I know hopefully the trials is in November, but who knows when all this stuff will be able back and competing and all
Fucking hope it's before then, dude.
that. I'd be upset if it's not.
Now we got to start wearing masks going out or whatever, according to Daddy Andy.
Daddy and Derek Rayleigh's mad we're not drinking Four Locos.
Oh, we should have got
Man,
Four
we should've got
Locos,
at least
bro.
6 of them.
I thought about it. I thought about Rayleigh, if you come in here,
Yeah, if he
and Drake's in here too.
You better
the
bring
Four
Four
Locos
Locos.
come.
Yeah. I tell him every day it's a good recovery drink.
Hey, shout out Chris Horsemeyer. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, happy
Hope you have-
birthday to my
hope
man.
you having
Happy
a good
birthday,
one,
brother.
man. You deserve it.
Yeah,
Let's get
100%
you back in here too. We get all y'all in here. We need to get a group in here. Just
It'd
go
be-
wild again.
That would be
like we
fucking
used to.
goofy.
Just set it up. I'll come through. Like I said, it's a good time. But yeah, man, the thing is just staying active. That's the biggest thing with
Yeah.
everything. Because I mean, of course, you're gonna wake up and be like, man, I can't do nothing after work.
Yeah.
It's just like fuck what we do. So I mean, at least you gotta do something and just not try to be fat.
Dude, I like my girlfriend's been off for over a month now from work, and I was off for a long weekend, which was like 4 days, and I ate everything in the fucking house. Like, she has far more self-control than I do. Oh man, it would be bad if I was off. I'm happy to still be working.
Yeah, I'm terrible with food. That's like my worst thing about it. Like I could probably get down to like 175 easy if I didn't eat like shit.
Yeah.
But I just like, what do you do right now? It's just like, man,
What's
I'm not-
your what's your greatest crutch? Like the thing you just can't resist.
Oh, wasabi and Shogun
Wasabi.
Express.
Oh,
my God.
boy.
Man,
Okay, so all right, hear me out though. So this is unpopular opinion. All right,
All right, let's hear it.
wasabi is just the fast food Shogun.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, thank
100%.
God,
No,
thank
that's-
God, dude. Oh
What
my
you gotta
God,
think-
people get so mad. They're like, wasabi's better than Shogun. Like, on
No.
what fucking planet,
I'm
bro?
about to say-
You're like comparing. You're comparing McDonald's to like Roadhouse.
Yeah, no, it's not on the same level.
All right.
It's definitely like, and it's better quality too. You go to Shogun, it's better
Yeah.
quality.
And it's cooked in front of you. You
Yeah,
get an experience.
exactly. You
They
can't-
make jokes with kids.
Yeah,
Throw egg at
you
you.
can't beat that. Like wasabi's
yeah.
just like the fast food version. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper, of course.
Listen.
So why not?
Shogun's is way better on every.
Oh, whole. That's
All right, as long as we're on the same page with that.
That's what really matters here, boys.
Yeah.
All right, we're done now.
Yeah.
That's all we needed to know.
Wrap it up.
For sure. I'm addicted to just about every kind of eat out.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. I like getting food quickly. Although, I think you don't know. I got a grill now.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. I've been fucking it up, too. I'm telling you.
I'm a little upset I ain't been invited to the grill.
Thank your old pal Quarantine for that. But no, dude, I got a 5-burner propane grill because I didn't want to have to wait for charcoal to like get hot and everything. It's like a whole fucking process for charcoal. So I got propane, but my dad's gonna be upset about that. But nonetheless, I hate cooking. Like I hate every part of cooking. But when it's like a nice piece of meat, I can season it the way I want it and let it marinate and then throw it on the grill, sit out there, drink a beer, play on my phone, throw fetch with my dog while it's cooking and just check the temperature and flip it. Oh, dude, I'm getting hardcore into it.
That's the
I look up
definition.
the fucking, the best recipe. I'm out there wrapping it in full and shit. And like, oh, man, we're having a good time.
That's the move, man. That's the American dream right there. Sit out there on the back patio,
You're
grill
not
up some
wrong.
burgers, drink some beers, hang out with the dog and the
It's
lady.
been good as fuck, too, dude.
It's been chill though. That's
Yeah.
my worst thing. I hate to cook. Like the only time
Yeah.
I cook is if it's like meal prepping or like my dad's always like, I cook dinner. You want to come over? I'm coming over every time.
You're right.
I'm not hesitating. I'm coming right over. I was like, I just don't cook. It's just too much time and just I hate it.
Dude, it's so much more convenient just to hit up like
Exactly.
and you can just so easily convince yourself like, bro, I'm gonna get a grilled chicken when I get there. I'm not even gonna get fries. I'll get a water.
Yeah.
Hit the house, be good to go.
Three
you get
Baconators.
you get there and you're like, grilled chicken. How can I help you? Let me get a McDouble with a large fry and a sweet tea. Fuck. No, grilled chicken. What was that? You're fine.
That's how it goes. You think you're gonna eat healthy, and then you see all the stuff on the menu. You're like, yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Tomorrow.
Who am I fucking kidding
yeah,
right now?
might as well enjoy it while we're doing it.
I'll run a little extra hard later. Not gonna do that, but it's fine.
Nah, that's my problem too. It's like it's too easy, especially when you're a single dude. It's like,
Oh,
what are you
yeah.
supposed to do? Like, why cook for 4 people when it's just you? So it's just like it's just
It's
easier.
hard. I mean, like I definitely feel that. Even now that I'm in a relationship again, dude, it's hard to cook for just 2 people. Like I got a pork tenderloin. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like a pork tenderloin's like 14 inches long.
Yeah, you about to be cooking for a couple
Bro,
days.
and my girlfriend eats like, I don't know, a fistful of food. So like I'm over here like I can't let it go to waste.
Yeah.
At least it's meat.
Yeah, no, that's like I said. That's all you got to eat. That's fine, but I can't. I'm terrible. I have to drive
Yeah.
too many times. After I
feel
get done, legit right after I get done running or something, I'll be like, here we go. Let's hit
Bro.
what drive through I'm hitting today.
Have you ever just like scrolled through your bank account and just wrote down all the charges from fast food?
I don't want to.
It will fucking hurt your feelings.
I don't need that negative
I don't need that.
energy.
I don't need the energy in my life.
I went. This was like last year, but I went through one day and I was like, man, I've been eating out a fuckload. Like it's right after my divorce. I was like, just not doing anything except eating and feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
And I went through and I wrote down all the charges. You know how much that shit added up to in 1 month? 30 days. It was like
400 or something.
Bro, it was like $360.
Yeah, no, that's
Now.
I'd hate to see mine because sometimes mine's 2 a day.
Fuck, dude.
Because me and a couple homies from work, we got to eat for lunch, and it's just to get away from the work. And
Yeah.
then we'll go eat, and it's like, man, we're just wasting time. Like we don't really have to eat. We're just wasting time to go do something.
The biggest change I've made over the past, I've been probably doing it for like 8 months now, because I'm on the road all the time. So I drive from job to job to job, and through an hour and a half from Evansville. So gas stations, all fast food places, anywhere I want, whenever I want it, I can basically go to.
Yeah.
So the biggest change I've made is I leave my wallet at fucking home.
I wish I could do that.
Bro, it's like I had to do I'm not shitting you, dude. It got to the point where I was pulling up Samsung Pay, like fiending at a fucking gas station. Like, bro, I know I can get this donut right now. Like, I was like, okay. I got home. I was like, all right, I got to delete Samsung Pay information. I got to delete all this shit.
Then they fuck it up. You got DoorDash. No, it doesn't
No,
matter.
I don't see.
That's
Here's the
the
thing
worst
about
thing.
DoorDash, man. I already self-deprecate quite a bit, like when I'm feeling bad about myself for eating too much.
Yeah.
DoorDash is like the ultimate guilt ride for me. If I don't even have it on my phone, because if I download it, I'm like, you were the worst piece of shit. Like you were the I just
Cook the food, bring it to me.
I stomp myself down so hard. Like there's
It's
no
so
way,
much more for no reason, like,
Bro.
It's a crazy amount.
I
more.
did DoorDash. Like, I did it for a day one time. Back when I was single, I was like, dude, I get home at like 3 o'clock. I got nothing to do all day. I'm just fucking jerking off all the time. Like, I might as well make money.
Yeah.
So I download DoorDash. They send me all the shit in the mail, like the little hat and the fucking bag or whatever. And I did like 4 deliveries. It took up probably 2 hours of time because of the drive time here in
Yeah.
Owensboro. And I got like $20. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I just went home. I was like, dude, no, I was expecting like how you tip delivery drivers. I was expecting like people to tip.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, it would make sense, $20 for 4 hours. it's only $5 an hour. But if you get a $10 tip or a $5 hit, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it would add up. But nah,
they don't.
everybody's like, thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
You're welcome. In my V8 Silverado, I just delivered your food in.
That is not the vehicle you want to be.
No,
on a
that's the
Dasher in.
worst one. That's like the worst Uber driver car ever.
Bro, I delivered food. It was in the Roosevelt House, and I delivered food from the McDonald's next to the Roosevelt House to the Roosevelt House. And she was super sweet, but she wanted me to stay and talk to her for like 45 minutes. I was like, bro, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It was lovely meeting you, ma'am.
That's silly. Oh goodness! A couple people. Stephen Ruiz said, "What's up, Drake?"
Hey, what's good, my man? How's it going down in
Old
Florida?
Jacob Fulton's talking some smack. He said you're talking about meat. He called us the FAG word. He called us fags for talking about
Call
meat.
us fags.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been watching the whole time, just talking mad reckless all
Talking
the time.
meds.
He's like he's my favorite cousin, but he's wild. He's
Old Trey Yinger in here said, "Yee
hey, my man.
Oh man, dude, no joke. I bet DoorDashers have been making some serious money though, all things considered, during all this.
Maybe.
Because like,
You got a
Made lot
fucking
from-
four
they made a
banger,
lot from
bro.
Me, I'll tell you that right now. They made a lot. I'm giving someone a paycheck every week.
Hell yeah.
I was
Hell
thinking
yeah.
about that too, like, because I've ordered it a few times. I kind of like, I mean, I like the convenience of it. If I want something, but I don't want to go out and do it, or if I'm drinking or something like that, you can have
Exactly.
anything delivered to you, which is nice. But at the same time, it's also like you said, it's kind of like a hole you don't want to get into
Dude,
because
I live on fucking Frederica Street, bro.
Oh, dang.
Like, there's no reason for me to not walk to get something to
Oh,
eat,
yeah.
much less drive, much less get DoorDash.
Yeah, no, I legit.
Oh, it's a struggle.
Yeah, I lived a couple blocks away from a bunch of restaurants. It was like,
Yes, you can call again. I don't give a fuck.
Who's that?
I think it's your cousin again. You
oh,
said,
tell
"Can
him
I
he's
call
not allowed
again?"
to. Tell him he's not allowed to. But nah, it's convenient for sure. But like I said, of course, when you get home, you drink a couple brews, drinking Four Loko, then it's like,
Oh, yeah.
you're definitely not driving.
You smacking a Four Loko, you better stay
yeah,
home.
I was like, you better
Yeah.
stay home, or you're gonna do some bad.
Four
decisions.
Loko is like the goofy thing that actually fucks you up.
I
Like,
know it's kind of wild though.
Yeah.
Like, people make fun of me drinking. I'm like, they're not that bad, honestly.
they're
Like,
good.
They're really not bad.
But like the first time I ever had one, I was playing beer pong, and I was playing beer pong with the Four Loko. Bro, I had that Four Loko. I'm not good, so I had that Four Loko gone in like 30 minutes, and I was fucked up.
Oh,
I was like, "Damn, dude, this is wild."
yeah, you drink one, you're fine. Like just switch to something else. But if you drink two,
Yeah.
you might as well go ahead and go to sleep. You're done.
Dude,
You're
it
done.
was struggle time.
Oh god.
You are back live again, sir.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm enjoying the podcast. You guys are some hilarious cats.
Oh, we appreciate it, man.
But
Here he goes.
Drake does train a lot. I want to share a story with y'all about Drake.
Oh, here you go. You better, if it's something stupid, you're gonna hang up. I'm just letting you know right
censorship
now.
on this podcast, brother.
What's it about? Hold on. What's it about?
Back when he was about 4 years old,
Oh my god.
Couldn't make too much damage when you're 4,
we
right?
ordered Taco Bell.
Oh
I
god.
came
He stuck his
home,
dick in a quesadilla, didn't he?
At the age of 4.
Yeah.
and he had red sauce on them beans. He's Mexican anyways. He's Hispanic as hell. And he threw a crying fit
Oh.
about some red sauce on his beans. And if you go to McDonald's and get chicken nuggets and you don't come home with sweet and sour sauce,
Here he goes.
he had his mama's tit in his mouth. So deep.
Hey Jake, what about that apple pie?
Apple pie, yeah, I stuck it. And I turned a girl.
Oh god, yeah.
So
You
yeah,
know,
you can
yeah.
shoot shots. Shoot
Yeah.
shots all you want, bro.
Hey, no, it's all right.
Shoot shots at you.
I'm still looking for the sweet and sour
You're
sauce.
the one talking about eating shit and talking about
Oh god.
Anyways, Drake is a very good role model. I see him being active with these kids, and I'm very blessed to say he's my cousin. On the flip side, I've done the things with him as he's doing with these kids. I didn't train with him or nothing, but I took him to
Definitely don't take
we
that
done some
out of
road
context.
trips, and he's very good, and I'm blessed to call him my cousin and my family. Very good role model. Very proud of. From where he's
Appreciate
came from to now, you know.
Why don't you just
amazing
marry
kid.
him then? God damn.
I if I could put them in a cup, I wouldn't drink them. So, eat it, kid.
Oh man.
But anyways, keep doing your podcast. I'm gonna listen. I'm driving home. I'm enjoying the shit out of it. You guys are cracking me up.
You got your quarantine mask on?
He will never get in the cage because I don't think he's man enough for it yet.
Oh.
He always tells me he's gonna get in the cage and this and that, and he keeps coming up with excuses. I think he has great coaches. I think he's ready for it. I just think he needs to put his big boy pants on and get away from these mats and get in the cage and make where the money's at. Go where the money's at.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
because he can't win a tournament. I drove, me and my brother and 2 nephews drove to Louisville, and he might have won one match. But
Might have.
Here he goes. I won
I
2.
think his chin's good. I think his hands are good. His skills are good. I think he needs to go in the octagon. My opinion.
Oh, shit.
Hey, stay
heard it
tuned.
here.
Stay
Stay
tuned.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you for calling in, brother. What do you think, man? Do you have like any serious plans for going in the octagon?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Think so?
Yeah, so me and Josh.
How old are you?
26.
26?
26.
You better get on it, brother.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, that's the question. Like,
Fucking-
people ask, like, are you going to do it?
I'll
Why
call
not?
up Dana White right now.
Oh, don't do that.
He's my boy.
I mean,
Got connects like that,
Yeah.
Jacob. Come on, man.
I mean, I don't like to
we going
flaunt
to take a
it,
shot
but
on
like,
that if you say, you make that call, we taking a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, talk to Josh, of course, all the coaches, Fish, Scotty, Grace, everybody. And I definitely want to do that. That's definitely in my near future. It's just been kind of I've been focused on being a better instructor, teacher, and jiu-jitsu and everything, and just try to be just well-rounded in that area first. And then, of course, I probably could have fought before, but I just want to stay what I'm doing. I stay focused on something, and then once like I said, the gym's going to be moved, everything will be a little different schedule, and we'll be able to full blast into everything. But that's definitely in the near future, so
Hell yeah, man.
definitely stay tuned. That's always been a goal of mine, just do it and see if I like it.
Yeah.
And, of course, why not?
What happened to? I don't know if I went with you or not. My memory's fucking shit. But what happened? There was like an amateur thing back before Iron Edge Gym was there. It was like the sports complex or whatever. And there was like amateur MMA fights in there. What happened to them? Are they still fighting?
Well, the thing is with the local promotions, it's like if you can make the thing is that you've got local promoters that will put on shows if they can make a little bit of money off them. But the problem is, it's like in a town like this, like those sort of shows, they'll just kind of bounce in and out depending on like how well they're able to gauge the crowd and get a crowd in.
Yeah.
But like they had some at Panera, which is a weird place to have fights before, and I saw a couple of guys that I've seen at Gracie's too that had fought on the card there, but I don't know about them having more cards around here because they used to have like IFC. You remember that was in Indiana and shit like that?
I know what you're talking about.
I only got to go to one, but it was fucking cool, and it was packed. Like, I mean, it was stand-up packed. Like, people swarmed in. Like, you never do it right now, but it was cool as shit, dude.
No,
Well,
there was a I went and saw, of course, Scotty fight back in the day. Jason, like I said, I remember going to watch them at Hard Rock.
Hard Rock,
Yeah,
Hook and Shoot, all that.
yeah, that's when I like first saw like my first live ones for real, and then I thought it was dope. I was like,
Yeah.
like,
Jason was the first
energy.
guy I ever seen fight like in a cage. I was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah, the energy there is crazy, man. It's awesome. Like saying, see your homies fights, like hell yeah, like
Yeah,
going to
that
war,
would be
like,
a whole nother fucking
That's
level.
a whole nother level. Yeah, like
Yeah.
It's way, and of course, Sky, and then they tell me it's a whole different experience, like than just doing a jiu-jitsu match. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can go compete. I've competed probably over 200 times, and he said it's totally different. Like,
Yeah.
so
I can't imagine, dude. I feel like it would be an immense amount of pressure building up to when you get in the cage, and then once you're in the cage, it would be like fucking tunnel vision. Like, I feel like you wouldn't even register that they're there anymore.
Yeah, it's
like the
kinda
audience, you
almost
know what I
like,
mean?
Like, kind of like zone out. And
Because it's
kinda,
fight or flight at that
yeah,
point.
exactly.
I
Like,
mean,
if you gotta look at it, like they're trying to kill you. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what you gotta look at. Like, man, I'm trying.
I could get knocked the fuck out. I don't
Yeah.
want my lights turned out, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be on someone highlights reel on that.
Yeah.
Like, nah, so like I said, the first step would be amateur MMA, and then
Right.
go from there, and then just see if I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fun. Why not?
Yeah,
And
I
that-
mean, I know a couple of people that didn't really even train and then just jumped right into amateur, and then the amateur competition is way different from the pro competition, of
Yeah.
course. But like, especially around here, you know, it's not a huge like hot spot for like MMA,
Yeah.
but I've seen a lot of really good guys come out of like Kentucky in general. Like I think Demetrius Johnson's from Madisonville, ain't he?
I have no
I'm pretty
idea.
sure.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's from Madisonville. Like
he might be. I'm not.
I could be wrong.
It's
but-
not nearly as much as where you're from as what you decide to do with it.
Exactly.
Right,
You know
right.
what I
Like
mean?
you can put someone like with good athletic ability, and like you can go put them in the best like around all the OC fires, all training fire. But if they don't put in the work,
If they don't
Yeah.
want to do
then
it.
they don't. If they don't want to do it, then they're not going to do
Right.
it. Like you can put them in the best situation possible, but if they don't want to get better, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
That's,
Like you
that's-
can't like force someone to train, or like you can't force someone.
Yeah.
They gotta want to be there, and like that's like I said, you can put someone in the middle of everybody, the best, greatest, of whatever, and then they still just not want to put the effort in to actually do what needs to be done. So that's like I said, I feel like Owensboro, Grayson, we got too many goons. Like,
Speaking of goons from Gracie Owens,
Oh.
bro, Tony Fish said we need to start drinking some good alcohol.
Ooh. We do need Tony
hold
Bourbon
on.
back in
Hey,
here, bro.
don't make me post a picture of him drinking a Four Loco.
Uh-oh, please do. Put that in the comments.
Shots.
I'm not gonna
fired.
do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep that for myself.
Respectful.
Yeah, I'm gonna be respectful about it. But we know he likes a good Four Loco every once in a while.
Uh-oh. Who doesn't?
Man,
Exactly.
That'll get you there. It's been a while since I had one, but ooh, it'll get you.
They're
it'll
not.
get you
It's not gonna let you down.
No,
That's
it
what it's
won't
not
let
gonna do.
dude.
It's a lot. It's a lot too.
It doesn't taste like it though. It tastes good.
Yeah,
Like it's
not-
almost like you're drinking a Smirnoff with a little more.
A
like
little more umph into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean,
But the damn can be that.
like if
big.
a Smirnoff smacked you in the mouth, that's a Four Loco.
it's a good recovery drink too.
Hair of the dog type shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you get done training all day, like train all day, and then go home, drink your nice Four Loco.
Yeah.
It relaxes you, puts you right to sleep. So.
Do they sell Four Loco in a case, or is it just individual
I
cans?
wish.
I've
No,
never
I
seen
don't-
it in a case
Yeah.
before,
Bro,
man.
if you can find somewhere you buy it by the gallon,
Yeah. Let me get sponsored by Four Loco.
bro,
one day.
about a fifth of Four Loco the other day.
Oh man, what's up, Larry Stark? I don't know
Hey,
how we
Stark.
fit Drake in this room, man. We had to walk him
shit.
sideways.
God.
We had to get him sideways in here, man. We had to get a forklift and move some stuff out of the way. And we got him in here. Tony said he remembers he was 10 when he drank that.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, what's up, Starkey? Yo, go peep his stream, Starkey up.
Yeah, check
The
out
man himself.
Starkey up. Check out Toasted Tuesdays, where the
Ooh.
wildest gaming happens.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Jean said Drizzy on a Tuesday.
Hey, every Tuesday of the week.
Hell yeah.
Man, I can't wait to get back to them Tuesdays, man. I saw a couple of them pictures, man. Got me thinking. I was like, man, I can't wait till that gym opens up. It looks like whole new space, a lot of opportunity
Well,
for.
yeah, I've seen a
for
couple of those pictures that were posted, man.
Everybody in the gym, I'm sure, is excited to see how all that pans out. You know, obviously they want the best for Josh and the gym and everything.
100%.
So like seeing that and seeing. You know, y'all have been at several different locations, and then like this looks to be like the best iteration of Gracie Owensboro yet, and I'm like real excited to see like everything y'all can, you know, all the classes, all the opportunity for everybody to, you know, succeed and get more rounds in and do better. So I'm excited to see that, man. I've been seeing the slow process build up to it, and I know everybody else is excited too, but I'm sure. You know, you're excited. More importantly, more excited because man, you get some rounds in the ring now. Get some more rounds, you know, everywhere.
Finally got that up Sunday, and like it's looking nice in there, man. It's a lot. It's huge. Like it's like 3 times the size of last year.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's.
Let
it's
me ask
crazy
you real
now.
quick. Is it possible ever to have a mat without support poles in the middle? Because
There's a
I know for
possibility.
you brown belts it don't fucking matter, but like for us white belts who got to get up and move,
I think there may be one in there now, but I think it's just for structural support.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's like 2,700 square feet of mat now.
son
in
of
the
a
new
bitch,
spot.
dude. I seen those new pictures and I seen that pole in the middle. I was like, there it is, there it is. It's a fucking staple. It's
just-
got to be
it's
there.
just for you guys.
Yeah, you can't. It's got.
No, but there'll be a lot more space. Like I said, of course, like you said, a lot more opportunities and stuff. And of course, Josh will come out all the details and stuff later on everything that's going to be happening, all the changes in the gym. But like I said, everybody's really excited for it. I mean, you got to think from Owensboro, you don't think big jiu-jitsu, you don't really think. But we have a lot of people who've been
I think
training.
that's changing, man.
It is changing.
A lot of
And-
people around here now know.
You got to think it's. Everybody knows jiu-jitsu now in Owensboro. Like,
Yeah.
oh, where's jiu-jitsu? Gracie Owensboro. And so it's a good thing, especially because there's been a lot of guys, like, even trained before even I was. And, of course, when I got into it, it was like there's a lot of OGs that still train. I'm like, man,
Dude,
people don't realize
you're
jiu-jitsu-
one of them. Like before, like you probably don't even remember, but before I even was interested in jiu-jitsu, I posted up and I was like, "Hey, does anybody know about Gracie Owens, bro?" And everyone literally tagged you. I didn't even know you at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, "Oh shit, that's the dude I seen at Taylor's."
Good old Taylor days.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, it's true. I mean, I did train with all OGs like those. They were training before I was and stuff. So it's like it's just good to see like Owensboro has a good group of like monsters.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people take it for granted. But when you retrain and like training Gracie Owensboro, you're training with the best. Like there's no, I won't want to train anywhere else. Like you can build Owensboro up from here.
Yeah.
Like if you want to train jiu-jitsu at a high level, you have it here. And a lot of people don't realize that. But like I said, when people say, man, I ain't got
They
time
come
to
in a couple
train.
days, they'll realize that, bro.
Yeah, like I said, like people like, man, I don't want to train that much. Like, if you want to get good, that's how you do it. Like we legit, even we trained on garage floors, like on 4.25-inch puzzle piece mats. We didn't
Yeah.
look here.
Look at everything now.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I mean,
it's-
look,
it's-
you know, I'll say I'm really happy to see the success of that gym for a ton of different reasons. But one of the reasons is that, you know, knowing all the instructors there, knowing that you guys go in there multiple times a day, teaching kids, teaching adults, you know, putting everything on the line, you know, just to, you know, take what was y'all rolling in a garage somewhere to an actual facility that promotes and teaches literally world-class jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
that, and not even just jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like evolving now,
Hey,
like
you
now
know.
it's straight up MMA fighters are going to start coming out of Gracie Owensboro. And now you guys are finally realizing the dream of having a facility that you can incorporate all that into. And to just see that for guys like you and Josh and Tony and Grace, it's awesome to see, because like you guys are obviously working hard, trying, you know, doing everything you can to make sure that people in the gym succeed, you know, offering lessons outside of it. Literally anything you could ask for in a gym, Gracie Owensboro has it, and we're just like a small town.
Yeah.
Like we're not Sacramento, we're not San Diego, we're not, you
not
know,
at all.
Houston, we're not like that.
Hold up.
We're not like that, but at the same time, you can still get in a town like this a world-class education, you know, from some of the best in the world, and people who are not just good and talented, but people that are dedicated and driven to teach you and make you excel in whichever art you decide to choose.
Yeah.
And so I'm like glad to see that, and at the same time, I'm glad that I've been able to become friends with everybody. You know, at Gracie Owensboro, it's like a great community of people. I mean, immediately, you know, everybody knows when you walk in that gym, and if you're willing to go out there and put yourself on the line and try your best, then you get respect from everybody.
100%.
And like that's one, and I think that's probably one of the many reasons why that gym has succeeded. You know, you know better than anybody else that there's other gyms that just didn't succeed for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you hate to see, you know, people not succeed, but at the same time, the recipe for success is always there.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
as
and I
long
mean,
as I said, we try to. I can probably all the coaches would say this. Like, we try to make sure if someone has a goal, if someone comes into us with a goal, we want to make sure we do everything we can for them to get to that goal. All right. So I mean, if you come in saying this is your goal, or you just want to train, you want to be a hobbyist, you just want to learn self-defense, we'll do everything we can to make sure that works. And like I said, we don't care to we're not those people it doesn't matter what belt level you are. If anybody has a question or anybody asks, we're gonna be like, okay, we'll answer it for you. We'll stay after and help you. We don't care. Like that's just something we do every day. Like I said, because we make everybody else better, then of course they can turn around and help make someone else better, and then it just uplifts the gym as a whole. So, and you keep elevating everybody around you, that means you have to elevate. So it's like that's how we look at it. Like we want to make sure everybody is treated the exact same, fairly like a family, because we treat everybody like everybody in there. I'm wild, and I say what's up to everybody. I mean,
I got that fire playlist going too.
Hey, I got the fire playlist going. Like I said, I try to make it so it's supposed to be fun. Like I said, you being there, like of course we're still high intensity training. Like I said, we're still getting bad positioning rounds in.
If you're looking for a good fucking workout, go to Gracie Owensboro, dog.
Yeah.
You will die.
Like I said, we try. It's supposed to be fun. Like I wouldn't be in there all the time. I wouldn't be training all the time if it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Like I would hate it. I'd be in there just mad all the time. But no, I enjoy it. And of course, everybody in there is amazing. Like I said, I've pretty much been trained since I was 16 with most of them. So it's like they the OGs. They kept me right. So
I mean, I finally convinced Chase to go. I finally convinced Zach Cox to go. Y'all I know him now. And I'll never forget the first day me and Chase walked in there together. We were super like out of our fucking league, out of our comfort zone. Like we walk in, we're just sticking to ourselves. And I think wasn't it Tony came right up to us and he's like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Y'all been here before?"
I think it was Scott. That
Was
came
it?
up to.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was Tony that had it. That it was original because he
Tony
had
at
to
first
sign
and
the
then
waiver,
Scott.
and then Scott was teaching.
Yeah.
And I'll just never forget how like within the first 10 minutes of walking in there, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is dope." Like I went from new guy, never done anything like this before. I feel like these guys are meatheads and are just gonna beat my ass. To welcome to the family in 10 minutes. It was great.
Exactly. That's how it is. I mean, like I said, we're just chill. Like, we're
sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean, you gotta think like we're just. I mean, honestly, we're just like a bunch of nerds. Like, you know, we're not. If we were meatheads, we'd be dicks. Like that'd be a terrible place to be at. Like, nah. Like when we get done training, like I'll go play video games. Like shit, I could animate all of my arms. But I'm not like We don't. It's not about that for us. Like I could care less. Like I cannot compete ever again, and I would still be training just like I am.
Yeah.
Like I could just help everybody else out and uplift them. So it's like I could not compete ever again, but I would still be in there doing what I'm doing, trying to elevate my game just because it helps everybody else out.
Yeah.
So that's just how I look at it.
You want to talk about best of the best being right here in Owensboro, training at Gracie Owensboro. Now, y'all know I'm not nearly as much in on the fight game as y'all are. Y'all can talk about BJJ competitions all day long, and I won't know a single name that you mentioned, but I enjoy hearing about it. Okay? But I do follow one of the sexiest fucking UFC fighters, Paige Van Zandt. And for me to see her husband, Austin, Vanderford?
I don't know.
On the same card as Joe Bays.
Oh shit!
I was like, oh, fuck.
Joe's an OG.
I literally seen that guy. I was 5 feet away from him. He was instructing half the class when I was in there. Like, what a fucking privilege, dude, for a guy like me to just be like, at most you could call me a hobbyist. I mean, I've been very in and out of the gym, but like for me to
we're gonna
be
fix that. We'll go back to that. We're gonna fix that.
yeah, don't worry. After like I'm fucking fiending again, so I'll be back in there for a couple classes. Don't worry. But like for me, as just a hobbyist, as you could say, to be within the same gym, much less for have that guy to be instructing me here in Owensboro, Kentucky, dude. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, Joe Bays, like I say, he was an instructor when I first started training Nice Guy back in the day. So like I said, Joe's been going. I mean, he always tells the story about he used to like he didn't know I was 16 when I first started. He thought I was older, and, like, and I was rolling really hard. And like I didn't know what anything was about when I was 16. And he was like, and Joe was just giving me shit, like just pressuring me. And I didn't stop. Like I just kept going. He was like, shit. He's like, I just went hard on this kid. I didn't know who it was. And then someone told him like he's only 16. And Joe's like, "Oh fuck!"
Fuck.
he's like, he don't care, you know. So he just kept training hard with me. I mean, Joe's one of the OGs. That's my homie. That's my brother. So much love to Joe Bays. He's a monster. So.
Oh man, some people are talking some smack towards you.
Oh
Greg.
shit,
Oh man,
everybody. What do you mean? Who's talking smack?
Who wants to smoke?
Ethan Clements and Larry Stark both said it's time for a shot, and Ethan also said you're a lightweight.
Oh,
so
I mean,
just saying.
Let's go ahead and finish these off. I took a sip, but
Oh damn, Chase. All right, then leave us out.
I see how I do.
First of all, this ain't any kind of shot glass. I have to like sip out of this. I almost poured it down my fucking chest earlier.
I mean, go ahead, take it to the head. Ooh, look at him.
He said, "I'm not driving home tonight."
Babe.
Oh, yo, all right. So, Reese said you are small.
Ooh, Reese.
Cramped.
You want me to get started on Reese?
Oh, please do.
I didn't even want to say anything.
I wouldn't. I got
That shit
you
was
now.
the funniest, dude. Always
telling
fucking
you.
with Reese in there.
Yeah, Reese is.
You know-
he's too easy to roast.
You know what I love about that gym, and I'm gonna go on a little Gracie tangent again. You guys are so good at dealing with people that have that come from all sorts of different walks of life. There's the people that, man, it's crazy how well you can tell that you guys are gauging people in the gym and what their serious intentions are. You know, like I've noticed the way you guys interact with different competitors that walk in and out. You know, if you notice a guy says he's serious and you see he's being serious, he'll be treated differently from a guy who is a hobbyist. You know, who's just like, I'm in here because like I want to learn how to defend myself. You know, like for me, for example, I don't want to compete. I'm far past that. I don't want to compete anymore. If I do, it's just for funsies. It's not.
You already
for any-
won the title, like easy.
Yeah, no big deal. But for me, I love the sport and I love the competition aspect of it, where you get to challenge yourself constantly.
Yeah.
But me, I don't want to step into the cage. I'm not. I mean, if there is a competition close to here that's not a ton of money, I wouldn't mind to participate in it.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not a competitor. Like I said, more of a hobbyist. Just because I love it. It's fun. It's a ton of fun. But seeing you guys interact with people that are from different walks of life and see it in a different view is really interesting too, because you guys can kind of pick up, like there's certain guys that you'll talk smack to because it'll bring the fire out of them.
Exactly.
And there's some guys you'll be like, let me show you a little extra instruction that I know you need, compared to somebody who, if you pick at them a little bit, the fire will come out of them, and then you'll see the instruction that you taught them.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. And then like looking around the gym, I can see, especially when we're in a bit smaller space, when we're closer rolling with people, we can see y'all interacting and stuff like that. So like top notch instruction in there, man.
Like you said, you got to think though, there is all walks of life in there though.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even pick, like there's probably not two people in there that have the same job title or same thing they do every day.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to think who knows what their job title is. But like I said, once you step on the mat,
We got airplane mechanic, banker, auto glass.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm saying, there's no
Actually,
like,
I'm not in there, but before Tony jumps on my shit again.
Tony, go ahead and get him one time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, where's the Zimas and the Jolly Ranchers?
Ooh.
Saying we're over here drinking Kool-Aid.
Oh, here they go. I don't know what
It tastes like a Jolly Rancher. I'll
does
give
pretty
them
good.
that,
It's
but
pretty good. We got
I'm
the apple in
definitely
here, Tony.
feeling it. So
Tony, you got to bring the bullet back in here, man. Get
Hey,
us
don't do
for
that.
sure, bro.
Get us silly.
Fucking make that mistake again, bro.
Oh,
Nah,
boy.
but that's one of the good things about it in there, because it doesn't matter. Like once you step on the mat, it don't matter, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it has no effect on anything. Like how we treat you, regardless. I don't care what you do. Like I said, when I first started, I was working at Arby's. I worked for Arby's for 5 years.
Hell yeah.
So I was like, of course, then that was before I moved to Tampa with Josh down there, and we lived down there together. But I was like, it doesn't matter what you do, like off the mats. Like once you step on the mats, like it don't matter where you work. That doesn't have no effect on how we're gonna treat you. We don't care what your goal is. Like we're gonna make sure we're doing everything we can to help you. So like regardless, of course, we're gonna clown with you. Like Reese, I'll clown him forever. Because for one, he tries to give it back and he tries to go back and forth, but I've been getting roasted since I was 16 with everybody, so it's like I built up an immunity and some good comebacks, so it don't bother me none.
I feel like a good example of that is just that it took me forever to learn people's actual names, like Juice. I was like, he sells cars? This dude right here is fucking me up every day. He sells cars?
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea. Like I said,
Yeah.
I mean, we all, like I said, I've been working full time ever since I started training, so it's like it doesn't affect me. I still train every day. It doesn't bother me one bit. So like I said, it's always fun to me. But yeah, we have all kinds of different. And of course, we know certain people to roast and certain people not to. Some people like joke with us and stuff, which usually everybody's pretty fun roasting back with us. So I try to make it fun. That's just what I like to do.
So you guys have had, I'm going to still kind of keep it with the Gracie Owensboro topic. So you guys have had pretty much an explosion of like enrollment in the past few years, where like a ton of people have just like come in off the street to learn. And like, fortunately, I've been like able to see a ton of people come in and exceed through the program. What are some things that you would like to see with these new opportunities coming up with the gym and your opportunity to teach, the young folks, the adults and stuff like that? Like what is in your mind as far as the next step for y'all's training and the next level for Gracie Owensboro in general, for your perspective?
My perspective, I mean, honestly, of course, me and Josh, we talk about it, all the improvements that we're going to make. We talk about it all the time, like, what can we do to make things better for everybody, and not just us. Like I said, we're looking at it for the community. We're looking for, because, of course, like, one of the things is, like, we teach kids and teens as well. We want to make sure they don't, of course, they have bully-proof type thing, like, they have self-defense. Like, of course, you can't stop bullying.
Yeah.
That's not going to stop.
Right.
Like, that's never
That's
going to stop.
kids.
They're
They're
kids.
assholes.
You're going to get bullied.
Yeah.
Like, there's assholes, exactly like you said. So it's like, one thing we want to make them prepare for, like, if something does happen, and just try to make sure, like, everyone around us is trying to get better as a whole. Because like I told you before, like if we make everybody better as a whole, then
Sorry, I couldn't help but imagine a bunch of little kids with broken ankles being taught about Josh Hayden.
we don't teach them heel hooks at that young. So
Unfortunate.
thankfully, but no, we just try to make sure like I said, be good leaders to everybody, like especially kids and teens, because of course some of them probably look up to us, of course. And we want to make sure that they get through, like, of course, the whole process and actually learning something from it. Not just necessarily just jiu-jitsu, but like a respect thing and, like, just treat everybody the same. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big thing. Like, of course, you got to think they're all kids in there. Their parents probably do something totally different than they do. Yeah. And then the only way they know each other is through jiu-jitsu. So they're friends just through jiu-jitsu. So it's like all my homies pretty much now, they train jiu-jitsu, and we've been training since I was 16. So it's like, those are your homies, like that's your squad. So it's like we just try to a big perspective on it is like we're just trying to make sure we do everything we can to make sure that the jiu-jitsu gets better, the instruction gets better, and just everything as a whole as a gym, which I think, of course, Josh is doing a hell of a job of it, obviously. I mean, look how much the gym's grown so far. And, of course, like I said, Josh is my day one, my brother. So, like I said, anything I could do to help and anything, like, of course, ideas, spit back and forth, always do that. And, man, just trying to make sure Gracie Jones was the best it can be for the community, for real. And that's the biggest thing we need to do.
To add on to that, I've heard people recite this kind of old saying. I just want to know if you feel like it's personally true. So if it's not, you got to say it's not true. Okay. All right. So especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu, teaching and learning are two completely different aspects. And obviously that's two completely different steps in the program. So do you feel like through teaching, you're actually being like a better student, like you're understanding the fundamentals more?
Oh, 1,000%.
Really?
Because you got to think, like I said, some of the hardest things to do is sometimes to teach kids and like teens.
Especially
like,
kids.
You got to make it a lot simpler. Like you got to dumb it down a little bit. Like you got to make sure that they can understand it and they actually do the techniques. So sometimes it is, and you got to have a lot of patience too. You just can't be just mad all the time. Like from not getting something, like all right, we got to understand like what do we need to do to get better. You know, what steps do we need to add or things like that. But as a like, of course, thankfully, I've been able to, be beside Josh while he's been teaching for these 5 years, or since I've been teaching for 5 years. So I've been under him pretty much, like learning all the ways, and of course, he's helped me a lot. And then it's just because if you teach a technique, you have to understand it. Because if you don't understand it, well, if someone asks a question.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I ask a lot of fucking questions, not to the instructors, but to Chase every time.
So when you're teaching something, you got to know, like, if they have this question about this, so you try to, go as much detail as possible. But, it makes you a better student, 100%. That's why you're always learning. Yeah. Like, and not just learning just, like, the techniques, but learning to be a better instructor. Or, like, say, oh, you missed a step. It's going to happen. Like, no one's perfect. No one's, like, of course, like, oh, shit, I should probably said this instead of that. Yeah. Like, it's going to happen. Like, that's what you got to do. You get comfortable with it. And like I said, I'm still trying to get better at it. Like I said, I'm trying to evolve in every aspect of it. Teaching, learning, of course. So, like I said, but Josh is a hell of a role model for that. So, it's easy for us because he helps. If we have questions, he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
He makes it a lot easier on us. So,
can you give us a little insight as far as what Josh's future plans are since he's not in here today? What's coming up on the Josh Hayden?
I mean, you never know. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna let him come in and spill the beans.
So come November, what do you think's gonna happen? I mean, is he gonna be free or is he gonna be booked up? What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know. I can't predict the future. I wish I could, but no. Like I said, you'll know. You know what I'm saying? When he comes in here, he'll spill it out for what his goals are and everything. And of course, we talk about stuff all the time, like all day. Yeah. So it's like, there's certain goals for everybody and certain things.
They can become better people. They can become better. Themselves can become.
Well, I don't know. Reese is still commenting.
Probably, he's probably talking smack. You guys know him.
I'm just giving you shit, Reese. Yeah. I'm fucking with you, man.
All day.
Don't get hurt.
But the cool thing about it is not just the jiu-jitsu aspect. It's that the fact that there is people there that want you to succeed. And with day-to-day life, you get caught up with so many people around you that don't want you to succeed because they're afraid they'll be better than you.
Yeah, 100%.
And to have a place where you can go, where everyone around you wants you to do better, because they not only want you to do better, they want you to challenge them. You know, you want a kid to go in there and ask you a question you've never been asked before. You want a kid to come in there and be like, so if he does this, what about this? Because I'm thinking about this. You're going to be like, your eyes are going to light up like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
right.
You know, you're taking it to the next level. So,
let me put it on you real quick. Let's figure this out.
yeah, so I mean, like, and coming in, you know, from classes the past couple of years, it's been crazy that the consistency has maintained. You know, the amount of people that hear about the place in a positive light has gone up dramatically. I mean, that's one of the reasons why people keep coming in to learn. They show up, either they like it or they don't. You know, you guys can't control that. You can't control if somebody comes in there, gets their butt whooped, you know, for whatever reason. Even if nobody's trying to whoop their butt and they get their butt whooped, you know, and they don't want to come back, whatever. That's fine. They obviously mentally weren't prepared for a situation like that where they could, you know, deal with the fact that they're insufficient for whatever it is they came in there for. You know, you guys have now created a facility and that provides people an opportunity to succeed in something they wouldn't have an opportunity to succeed in this area at all.
No, yeah.
You know, there's a couple of people that have trained other folks, and obviously I don't want to speak bad about other folks. You know,
I will. Who are they?
I know you will, but what I just want to hammer home is that, like, if you are somebody who needs something in your life that's a routine, or not just a routine, but some sort of thing that will keep you in check, something that where you will learn something new that is applicable to everyday life, something that is, you know,
intensity cardio.
High intensity cardio.
Can't stress that enough.
Can't stress that. You're going, and along with all that, you're also going to be around a community of people who is like-minded and also wants to succeed and also is in there for the same kind of sort of thing. So, I mean, it's just, I'm really happy to see that the vision that was pictured years ago is continually growing and continually succeeding, because nothing makes me as a person happier than seeing good people succeed. Obviously, you don't want to see the bad folks who have bad things in mind. You don't want to see them come to fruition and succeed in the things that they want to, you know, put up upon other people. But at the same time, I'm glad to see, just from the year or so that I've been involved in the program, to see just the steps of hardworking individuals continue to provide an environment for people in this community to succeed in a way that they may have never even knew was possible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've ran into a few people in the gym that have surprised you like no other. That you
Not
were just
one.
that walked in there and you thought, you know what, you know, obviously he's going to get the same, you know, that person will get the same treatment as everybody else, and if they succeed, awesome, but you never know. You know, obviously, I'm sure there's a ton of people that have come in and out of the gym that you've seen that, you know, either just they weren't down for it, they were just like, this is not what I thought it was. You know, I'm done, whatever. But at the same time, I'm sure you've seen plenty of extremely surprising scenarios where you're like, wow, you know, 100%. My hard work, everybody else's hard work has turned this into a situation where that person is succeeding in the way that they wanted to, and they're putting the hard work into. I mean, you know, as far as all that's concerned, I do kind of want to draw back to a situation that we brought up on the podcast years ago. One of the first times you came in here, you and Scott actually talked about how anxiety and depression has affected your guys' personal lives, and not just affected it, but completely brought it to like a situation where you never wanted to be in.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu itself was aiding you in the ability to come back from a situation where you felt may not have been attainable otherwise. So what I wanted to ask you was, in this time period where everybody's locked up at home, people can't really go out and do things they really wanted to do, what have you done as a person who has battled with anxiety and depression? What have you done in your personal time and in your life to kind of try and mitigate those sort of feelings, those sort of what would you say, just overall feelings of self-doubt, depression, anxiety? How have you been able to combat those with not having the direct support of something that you have in your life as a big pillar of strength?
Yeah, and like I said, we talked before, like I said, whenever I was on the road a lot, I was having real bad anxiety and stuff. And of course, that was like pretty much a straw. I was like, I can't be doing this anymore. I was like, I gotta get back home. I was like, I get back to training. I get back to doing what I do. And of course, we talked about like, we'll see what happens within, like, whenever I do get back to the normal routine. And of course, I still deal with it every day. Like, I also have, small anxiety attacks. I also have, that's still a big issue still. But it's like, I'm not, me as a person, I'm not, like I said, I don't, like, it's cool. You can take medication for it or anything. I just don't want to change my motivation. Because, like, I don't want it to stop, like, because I'm a grinder. Like, people say the drizzy grind or whatever. Like, I'm in there all the time. I'm trying to do everything I can, lift, take it to another level. So, it's been, of course, it's been about almost about a year and a half now I've been dealing with it. I mean, there's certain days that are better than others. I can't tell you a day that I haven't won without an anxiety attack, but especially now, I'm more focused on, like I said, I've been reading a lot more. Like I said, you got to stay focused. If you kind of like, if you start thinking about it like too much, then you'll start going into a whole like, oh shit, I'm just stuck. And then like, that's one of the biggest things, like you'll put yourself in a situation, which of course I know mine might be as bad as some other people, but there are certain days where I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want to do nothing. Like I was like, I sit on the couch all day, like for like 14 hours. I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying I haven't done it because I have. So it's like, on those days, you kind of like, of course, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the people around me already, like Josh, Scotty, Fish, all the guys around me. Because, of course, if I was like, man, I need to do something, or like, oh, if I need blah, 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 whatever, they'd be right there and be like, if you need something, or they'll hop on the game, we'll play Xbox for whatever. I mean, a big thing is like, a lot of people don't have people around them to push through that. So it's like, I mean, I've always been like, man, if anybody needs anything, any of my homies, I'm like, man, if you need me, just holler at me. Yeah. But you're still going to deal with that, especially now, because you can't go see your homies. So how do you fix that? So it's like, you got to find things to do. I fucking picked up a new hobby. I started shooting. I bought a bow, a recurve bow. So it's like, you got to stay active. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you can't just sit. Like, I know it's hard for a lot of people to just sit there and not do nothing. But it's like, man, if you go home and just sit in your room, you're probably going to feel depressed. You're probably going to feel anxious. You're probably going to feel that feeling like, man, something's not right. And probably have that feeling of like, oh, shit, about a panic attack. So it's like, that's another reason why I do just not go sit home. Like, I like watching Breakfast Club interviews. I like watching, like reading books. Like I said, I listen to Charlemagne's book all the time. It's called Shook One. It's anxiety playing tricks on me. And he talks about the whole thing. Like I said, I mean, a lot of people deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Certain people don't have it as bad as others, but a lot of people deal with it. So it's one of those things like it's individual basis. So I might deal with it a lot differently than someone else might. Someone else be like, I can't be around people, so I'd rather be in my room, just playing my game, and I feel fine. But when I go around other people, it's like I start having an anxiety attack. So there's things like that too. Like, so I don't know. I just try to make sure I stay active and make sure my homies know like everything's good. If I'm feeling shitty this day or I'm not feeling right, they're like, hey, shit, come over, chill, something. Mm-hmm. So I always have that support that I've had. So it's helped me out a lot.
So just kind of keeping your mind occupied with things that you're interested in.
Exactly.
Not because I definitely get, we're in a kind of time period where people are in a place where they've probably never been before. This is weird for a lot of people that are in the older generation too, where they've never been in a situation where there's like, you got to stay inside. Because like we're worried about the people who are older, we're worried about the people who are predisposed. But at the same time, that makes total sense to just, occupy your mind with something. It doesn't matter really what it is. Whew, there he goes. Wow.
Hey, at least you're home, bro. I gotta chill.
Yeah,
I'm buzzing over here, bro. I gotta piss. Y'all keep going.
All right, we'll keep going. You want another one?
No, I'm good, bro.
All right.
I put my cup on the floor.
This is to keep him from going.
Fish better get him. Ramos said.
Yeah, man. I feel what you're saying, man. Because I'm a single guy. I live in this house by myself. For all you creepos out there, don't leave me alone. But I'm by myself. And the idle times where I know I'm not doing anything productive, I know at the end of the day, if I continue to do the unproductive things, that I'm going to feel like crap.
Exactly.
And like, I know that it's up to me to make a decision like, okay, am I going to keep doing the things that make me feel bad, or am I going to go doing, okay, you know what I should have done today? Should have woke up, got a cup of coffee, worked out, stretched, started the day off on the right foot, or am I going to be like, wake up, I don't want to do that. I don't want, I think I'd rather just lay in bed until I got to get up and, log into my computer and go to work. But, it's so easy to do that, especially now where there's so many people unemployed. There's so many people without things to do. I mean, there's so many people that are at home not doing anything. And I think one of the critical things is, rediscover what you're in love with, rediscover what you enjoy, take some time. What I've found out is I've had a lot of really good moments, just when I wake up, I've started doing, and I need to be more diligent about this, but just waking up and doing a 10 to 15 minute session of meditating where I sit there in complete silence, no noise, no music, no nothing, sit there, do absolutely nothing besides be there in my head. Be right there in my head. If I can't handle 15 minutes with just myself, there's something wrong. There's something 100%. Very, very wrong, right? So you understand that. So I think there's a lot to be said about in this period of time where we're all kind of sitting at home, we're all kind of just figuring out, what are we going to do? Yeah. Find out who you are. Yeah. Find 100%. Out when everything is back to somewhat normal and people can start going out and doing the things that they were doing before, what are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to spend your time doing? Are you going to continue, ordering DoorDash and sitting at home and doing nothing, playing video games and just ignoring the things that call out to you? Or are you going to say, hey, this is a good opportunity for me? Is this an opportunity or is this... I'm trying to remember exactly what Stefan said the other day when he was in here. There's people that he knows that are always looking for opportunity. This time period, looking for opportunity. Yeah. Where can we exceed? Where can we take whatever we're doing to the next level? Because with every event, everything going on, there's some sort of opportunity for you to succeed and for you to take advantage of the situation and do something positive for yourself. So I just kind of wondered, kind of what was in your mindset with everything going on, because it's unprecedented.
Yeah, this is probably this is the worst time for people who need are they have to have a schedule to live their normal life. You know what I mean? So I was reading this book, it's think about it. When's the last time you were actually genuinely happy? No worries, nothing. You're probably a kid, right? Honestly, you had no bills, you had nothing. It's probably a memory when you was a kid. So it goes on to say about it. So you need to be living every day to work towards that feeling of just being happy. With no worries, of course you have to work, of course, things like that. They say don't worry about that. They say whenever you can have a free state of mind and just be happy. Regardless of what it is. So you should be taking every day to work just to get back to that place where you were when you was a kid, when you had no worries. You didn't have to think about all the bills. You didn't have to think all the commotion, whatever it is. So it's one of the things is you just gotta stay motivated even during these times whenever you can't do nothing. A lot of people, they went to the gym to deal with depression, deal with anxiety. They can't do that now. So you gotta think people who are at home right now, they're like, oh shit, what do we do? So
Smoking
like I said,
a lot of weed.
Most definitely.
That's for sure.
But like I said, if they're still working, say they get drug tested like that. So certain people are they probably feel stuck, and it's understandable. That's completely understandable. It's what are you supposed to do when something like this happens? You don't know, because this is the first time it's happened in our lifetime, of course. I mean, shit, I don't even know when last time something like this happened before. So
yeah,
I don't even know.
Unprecedented for
sure.
So
it's so you can't plan this shit out. But it's there's people who have real problems. They gotta they used to do all this stuff to deal with their mental depression, anxiety, but now they can't. Yeah. So it's what do they do? So then it's now you got to find other ways to try to get back to that spot where you were happy. You try to work past it. So it's definitely rough for everybody. Like I said, it's rough for myself. I go through it every day, but it's I try to push forward and try to make sure I'm doing something. So that's the biggest thing.
Stay busy, man.
Stay busy.
I know a lot of people are very thankful that you, Drake, are very open about this subject. Marshall Sanders actually said it. He's glad that we're addressing this topic. I know a lot of people are glad that you, as a guy who is has the reputation that you do, a good reputation,
I appreciate that
has the reputation that you do, to be open and honest about the personal and mental struggles that you have to deal with as somebody who has dreams to do big things. You're not just sitting at home thinking, all right, this is good enough. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing anything.
Exactly.
If it was good enough to you, you wouldn't be at the gym every day. You wouldn't be trying to be a better version of yourself. So a lot of people are very appreciative that you're willing to come and talk about these sort of things, because it's tough to talk about. A lot of people deal with, it's probably crazy the numbers if you looked at them, as far as the amount of people that deal with anxiety and depression in just America. In North America specifically, we've built this whole Western ideology that is built on, succeed, like always look forward to like what you can do in the future. And like, there's a ton of people that have just lost perspective on their own abilities. So many people are tied up in, I was a piece of shit yesterday, I'm a piece of shit today. And instead of the mentality that is, you know what, I messed up yesterday, but today is the day. So many people have forgotten that mentality where you can completely wipe away your past by how you live your future. And like, there's so many ways to do that. Like, it's not just jujitsu and it's not just combat sports. Like, it's anything in general. Like this time period where so many people are in their homes not doing anything. Their routines are all the way jacked up. They can't. I mean, there's no gyms. There's no any kind of congregation. Some people relied on sports and entertainment to keep the routines going. So, I just hope that there's some sort of realization during all of this that people are able to at least realize that, the problem can be not necessarily with everything around you, but the problem can also be internal. And you can address that in different ways, whether it be exercise, whether it be eating better, whether it be associating around the same people that are going to push you.
Yeah.
If you're around the kind of people that aren't trying to accomplish anything, they're never thinking about what's the move now. What are we going to do after this? What's the next opportunity for us? Then you're going to fail. If you're around people that are content with failure and mediocrity, then that's where you're going to end up as well. What's the saying? Birds of a feather flock together or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't put yourself in a position to succeed, you won't. And I hate to see that, but at the same time, you can only, another, so to speak, another phrase is, you can only take a water, or you can only, the Ciroc's kicking. You can only take the horse the water, you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
You sure can only take a water, my friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to.
Like you said, like everybody's gonna make mistakes. Like 100%. If you don't make mistakes, or
You're not living.
Or if you don't make mistakes, you don't fail, you don't fuck up, then there's probably you're not living life, honestly. Like, of course, we all fucked up. Like,
I never have.
Yeah,
I hope I never see that day.
I know Jacob hasn't fucked up, but maybe take another shot, you might. But but not like I said, everybody's gonna fuck up. Everybody's gonna have issues, but it's how you bounce back from those issues. Of course, like everybody says, like of course you can make mistakes, but you gotta come back for them. And it depends how you're gonna look at it. Like you can be like, oh, I made a mistake. All right, I'm keep fucking up. I'm gonna keep doing that mistake because I don't care. Or you can be like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that, and then bounce back from it. Like I said, and be a better person like you can the next day. But like I said, certain people look at it differently. Like I said, people have different motivations. Like I said, I'm trying, like I said, we live in Owensboro. It's not really a big town. Like I said, I'm trying to change the city. Like I don't want it to be like gunshots all the time. Like if I was living in my apartment, I heard gunshots like all the time. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
We're in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like of all town, like really? Like you gonna say you in a gang, you're in Owensboro, Kentucky. Like that's where you're gonna sit? Like come on now. That doesn't make any sense. So like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to, like I said, do what I can to help the city, and that's shit any way I can. So there's a couple moves coming too soon, so we're gonna keep that moving.
I thought it was cool as fuck, man. Every time I see your posts on Instagram, like especially your badass pictures, that Cholos take for you in the gym. It's always got the tag anxiety in there.
Oh, 100%.
I was like, dude, that's cool as fuck. Obviously, I've spoken on it before. I don't relate to that, but I know that anybody who does relate to that, especially in this time of quarantine where you can't be around your friends, you can't depend on the kind of things that you've depended on before. That kind of thing is just like, hey, you're not the only one.
Yeah, 100%. And I think there's a bad stigma on it too. Like, of course, a lot of people talk like, man, there's a bad stigma. Oh, if you got anxiety, there's something wrong with you. Like, nah, honestly, everybody deals with it. Not everybody, but like a lot of people deal with it.
Well,
so
everybody has anxiety.
It's just how
disorder
exactly.
is a different ballgame.
It's just a stigma that people put on it that make it seem bad, but it's not that bad. Like, I mean, not necessarily. It's not. I'm not saying like the anxiety is not that bad. I'm talking about the stigma they try to put on it. They're trying to make it like seem like a bad thing, but it's not. I mean, people deal with stuff every day, but it's like if people didn't put such a stigma on it, and of course now it's kind of getting a little bit like, I guess, more relevant today because a lot of like higher up celebrities, like Charlamagne, he talks about all the time, like higher up celebrities, they're talking like, no, we deal with it too. So it's like people are getting more comfortable with it, but it's like, man, I don't care to talk about it because if I talk about it and then like one person hits me up like, yo, how do you deal with this? Then I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Like I don't care. Like I'm not saying that, everybody has to come out about it and say, I deal with it. What do you do to help? I'm just saying like, this is what I deal with.
Right.
Like I'm cool with talking about it because I don't care about the stigma that people put around it. It's not going to change my life. Like I'm still going to go train. I'm still going to go work. I'm still going to do everything I do. It's not going to, but if it opens up a conversation, which a lot of people probably need to have, it's like, dang, I probably was dealing with this. I probably need to, say what's up, actually talk about it, and then you'll feel more comfortable with it. But
a lot of people in our generation, especially, I think our generation is kind of changing the whole stigma around mental illness as a whole, whether it be depression or suicide or anxiety or anything kind of in that field. It's a good change, definitely, because it kind of gets away from that whole man up, quit being a pussy kind of thing, where it's like, okay, no, this is something that we need to address, we need to talk about. And especially after our community just suffered a loss not too long ago, just a couple weeks ago, of someone pretty well known around here. It's just something that can't be brought up enough, that you're not alone. Even when you're by yourself, you're still not alone. Yeah. And so when I see you posting, especially the badass pictures like that, of you in the gym with the hashtag anxiety on there, I think it just reckons home like you're not alone. You're in this with a whole lot of other people. Yeah. I'm fortunate enough to have the mindset of, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? A lot of people get arrested by that fear, whereas I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, the worst that can happen is I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I mean, but I know a lot of people don't have that mindset. My girlfriend disagrees with me on this every day. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not, like I said, I don't consider it a bad thing. I'm saying it's like, I just keep it open because it's like, I don't really think it's a big thing. Like I was saying, like, man, if it's just like saying like, if we were all talking about sports, like, we was talking about an NFL game or the draft or something, we can have those conversations, or who's better, Jay-Z or Kanye? Like, who's your top five? We can have that conversation all day. But whenever it comes like, man, how do y'all deal with anxiety? It'll go blank. You know what I'm saying? Like with your homies, like I said, not with my homies, we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? But it's like certain people will be like, they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? We just go back to Jay-Z and who's the best. You know what I mean? So it's like they don't want to talk about it because it opens up a thing in their head like, man, that's kind of soft. Like, but that doesn't make. Okay,
I feel the same thing happens like when I bring up like kissing your homies on the lips. Like everybody just goes quiet about it. I don't know.
Cutting Jacob off.
I thought you were drinking water.
I fuck, you know how it be.
Yeah, I get it. I ain't mad for it. I mean, teach your own.
You're right, man.
But no, like I said, so people kind of look at it like, man, you soft, whatever. I'm like, okay, come tell me that. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's like, of course, I mean, it's whatever. Like trained you just for like 9 years, whatever, and competing, whatever. It's like, I don't care about that. I cannot be training. I will still talk about it. Like I said, it doesn't bother me one bit. So it's like one of those things. Like they don't want to have the conversation, but it's not really that big of a conversation. It should be a normal conversation you have. It should be put into the conversations like, how's your day type stuff. Yeah. Like it should be a normal conversation. It shouldn't be like man, how you feel? Like what you doing today? Like whatever. It shouldn't be like, oh, you soft because you're talking about that. Like your homies shouldn't be like, man, you soft for talking about that.
You're hanging around the wrong people.
I was about to say, they're probably not your homies.
Saying, like, you're around the wrong people, so it's like, what the fuck? So, like, it should be a normal conversation. It shouldn't be, like, something that's looked down on or anything because, like I said, doesn't bother me none.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, man. I mean, you're right. It is becoming a little bit more mainstream to talk about how these things affect people as far as their, mental stability and kind of how they're feeling at the time. It is slowly, it seems like, becoming more open to people as far as people willing to talk about it. But you're absolutely right. If you're hanging around people that aren't willing to address those things with you, they're not really your homies.
No, they're not your homies.
They're not.
100%.
Your homies care about you.
Yeah.
The people that don't care about you will make fun of you and belittle you. They're like, you're weak for thinking that. Or they may take that as a sign of weakness and try to use it as an opportunity to take control as the alpha in the situation.
Yeah.
And your friend, somebody who cares about you, will not do that.
No, 100%.
And it doesn't really matter, as far as, if you're around people and, you're going to hang around different people all the time, so it's not really that big of a deal. But when it comes down to the people that you're going to go to whenever something happens, you want to make sure that those people are actually the people in your corner. Yeah. Because one of the worst betrayals you can have is going to somebody with a vulnerability and then they make you feel bad about it. They tell you that you're the problem and that they're using that opportunity to kind of turn themselves into the alpha of the situation. Yeah. And people who are very insecure tend to do that the most. I mean, it's really unfortunate to still see that mentality, even when we have this social media atmosphere where we're so connected, because we all know somebody who's been affected directly or indirectly by either, whether it be extreme depression, suicide, anxiety, all those sorts of things. Everybody knows somebody, or at least knows of a situation where, maybe there could have been something that was done, maybe this or maybe that. But it's still one of those things that's still, like you said, it's still cliche and still hard to talk about at certain times, depending on the group you're around. Yeah. So, to see people in a situation that would exaggerate all those symptoms of depression and anxiety, one can really only hope that we use the tools that we have to communicate with each other in the community and make each other better, that we do take those steps. And thankfully, with everything going on, we have seen the real people who care and actually want to make things better for people. And you've also seen the people that don't give a shit about anybody and only care about self-gratification and the short term and not about the people around them. And so I'm glad to see the people who are fake in those situations, and I'm glad to see the people who are real. So you can take this as, this whole situation as a situation where, you can take it out on yourself and you can be depressed and upset about it, or you can take it as, like Stephen Clark said, as an opportunity to not just better yourself, but better the people you're around, better your whole situation, because you're getting a chance to be away from everything. Yeah. You're getting a chance to stop playing the game that you're playing. Because a lot of times people get caught up in the games that they're playing. They're playing some sort of game with a person or a thing or a situation, and they forget. And so they just keep playing that game, and a lot of times that game will get them into trouble, or it can help them out. If you're playing a productive game with a group of people, like dedicating yourself to something positive, then it's okay. Play that game. It's good for you. Yeah. But people get caught up in the games that they're playing. They want to mess around with girls. They want to mess around with drugs. They want to mess around with, behaviors that are going to negatively impact them. So it's like, take this time as an opportunity, not just, as an opportunity to let me work out and get in better shape, but just mentally reevaluate where you're at, before you throw yourself back out there into this weird social media atmosphere that we all live in, this weird interconnected situation. I can't stress it enough, for the people that I care about, my friends and everybody I'm involved with, I want them to take this opportunity right now where your routines are all messed up, everything's messed up, to take a real good look at what's going on around you. Take a second to just really realize, you know, like,
Especially if you're on a porn set.
yeah. I mean, hey, man, if the money's good, the money's good. But
$20 is $20.
Gotta cut in there somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
Jacob to completely change gears in any situation.
No, go ahead. You were on something good. I just
No,
had to
it was something good. We got a
prod
couple
in
people.
there.
Hey, man, people. Drake, every time I bring you in here, people are just talking smack, man.
Man, that's
like,
They
I
all
don't know
want
what-
smoke, bro.
I think they know, man. They know, man.
know
But
we're
David
fine,
Watkins said you small, man. He said you look small.
Shit.
Here you go.
But thank you, Tony, for that little bit. He said Drake is just trying to change the world 1 or 2 or 3 people at a time. So
1 or 2 threes at a time. Oh my.
Hey, he's been drinking with us. You feel me?
I know he's drinking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time. 7, 8. It don't matter.
man, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love this podcast so much too. Is like I get an opportunity to talk to people in a situation where we got to sit down and talk about stuff. You know, we're gonna be here for a couple hours and actually get to talk about real shit. You know, you can sit like you have people come in here and talk about just BS the whole time. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I enjoy getting to be the voice that Ciroc gives me. it's enabling and it's freeing.
No, but like I said, like we were talking, like I said, if you don't like speak your truth, then what the fuck are you doing? Like,
That's for Tony.
That's for Tony.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, talk about real shit. Why not? Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the conversation you'd have like with the homies. Like, this is conversations we have. Like, it's about everything. It's like that's what it should be. If you have to hide, like, or like not talk about shit, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Not around people who support you. That's
exactly.
for sure.
Like, I've been blessed to have people like we were talking, like you were talking about earlier, like who push you. Like I said, they support me and everything I do. They'll help me get where I want to be at. Like if I say, yo, I want to do this, they're like, shit, what can we do to help?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, just like I would do for them, vice versa. So it's like when you got people around that, it's hard to be negative. You know what I mean? When you got people trying to push you, try to do better, and then you're trying to help them get better and be positive. Like it's hard to be like, shit, I'm not gonna be negative because if I'm negative, then I hurt my team. Like I said, when you're trying to change the world and you can't change the world, but you can change the community. Like I said, first and foremost, if you can do everything you can to change the community, then that's the aspect I look at it. So
Yeah, man. Well, branching out from kind of the anxiety and how we were talking about competition earlier, did those two things ever kind of hit a collision before you step on the mat?
100%. It used to, like I said, I've competed probably over 200 times. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's another day in the gym for me. But I mean, it does hit a lot. Like especially say you got a super fight, and then you're the last one on the card. You got to wait till the end. You see everybody else competing, and it's like you're the last one on the end. So it's like you're thinking about it the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit. Like I got bad anxiety anyway, so like I used to not have it, so it wasn't as bad. But of course, you still get nervous before super fights.
Yeah.
But like I said, once you step on the mat, like all right, we doing this. It's kind of like man, you just kind of go into train mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we train, so it's like try to get comfortable enough training, so like you train hard as fuck. So then whenever you go compete, you just compete the same.
Right.
So there's no difference.
Yeah.
There's no difference. So we say like when we tell people like when we go compete, like just another day on the mat. Mm-hmm. It's just another
clocking
day.
in.
We're just clocking in. Like I said, it's just another day on the mat. It's just someone you haven't rolled with before. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like we just go out there and just compete. Like I said, and like I said, some days, like sometimes you go compete, you want to try new things. It might not work, but
I don't know if it's the best time to try new things, but I mean,
that's the only
throw
way,
it out there.
That's the best way you figure out if like the stuff you're trying to learn like works in competition. Because if it doesn't work in competition, then you probably don't need to be doing
Right,
it.
not exactly practical. Yeah.
So it's like one of those things like sometimes you got there test yourself, test your new technique that you've been working on for 6 months, and if it works, hell yeah. But if it don't, like I need to go back to the drawing board, figure something out. So it's like it's one of those things like. Competition is fun for me. Like I said, I enjoy the whole process of it. The only thing I don't like is just the wait to compete. Like I wish I could you could just show up and be like, oh, 9 o'clock, let's go ahead and weigh in and go ahead and compete. But it don't work like that. You gotta, you're there and then. But like I said, it's still fun. Like I said, the anxiety still kicks in a lot. I try to drown it out with a lot of music, but sometimes it just is what it is. You just gotta kind of flow with it. So you just kind of once you slap bump, go compete. You just kind of like, all right, let's get it.
Now, I know last time you were on, we kind of talked about it was still kind of new to you, the anxiety attacks, especially when you were driving, and we were kind of figuring out like what helps and what doesn't. Have you had like kind of the time to dive more into that, like as far as what kind of pulls you out of it?
And I don't drive at night. Like I said, you won't catch me. Like I got glasses because I was like, man, maybe it's because I can't see like that far. I got glasses. Was like it helped a little bit. Like I was like, all right, cool. I can see better at night, but I probably still don't need to be driving at night. And like it could happen. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like it'll just happen. Like kind of be sitting there driving, like, man, oh fuck, I ain't really trying to be driving right now. Like you'll just kind of zone out for a second, like, oh shit, I probably don't need to be driving. So like it happened midday. Like it just doesn't. So I don't know what triggers it. Honestly, it's just something that's like it just happens, and then you kind of just deal with it as you go. And all you gotta do is like tell yourself like, I'm just driving here. All right, we'll make it, and then we go on today. And then usually by that time, like once I make it to the place, I'm like, oh, I'm good. But like I said, usually I just try to cut out driving at night, driving long distances. I'm definitely not fucking driving long distances at night. That's not gonna happen. You won't catch me
Drive
doing
to Tampa
that.
at night.
Yeah, no, it won't happen. I used to think about it as me and Josh used to do it all the time. We used to work at US Bank. We'd fucking get off work at Friday at 5, leave at 6, drive 13 hours straight to Tampa. And we get there like at 7 in the morning Saturday.
Let me hit you with a hard fuck that.
I couldn't tell you how many times we've done that.
Fuck,
That's the crazy part about it. And then or we leave Thursday night and then come back, and then we come back Sunday. Yeah, it was. I'm saying we did that a lot. Like one time I went down to me and Adam Jones. We drove down. I had a competition down there, and I had a super fight. So we drove legit down Friday night. I had a tournament. I had the super fight Saturday morning, right? And I had to come back Sunday.
Fuck, dude.
Right, it was awful. Never gonna do that again. So then we was like, yeah, we probably start taking flights. Yeah. So and I hate flying. It's my worst fear. And I'm an airplane mechanic.
Airplane mechanic. Worst fear.
Worst fear is flying. I'm an airplane mechanic.
And you get anxieety attacks driving. Yeah. So you're pretty much just fucked.
Yeah, I'm fucked all the way around. So I gotta deal with it somehow. So
yeah.
But no.
Old Karate Dave asked. He said, "Ask Drake about Choco Tacos."
Okay, so we was at a. This is a good story actually. So get this, we had it was, I don't know if it was an AGC yet or it was an OGC, because it used to be like a Ohio grappling competition or something, and then it changed to AGC. So we went up there, we had like 10 people. Like it was, and this is how many people were in this one hotel room on a 2 queen beds, and there's a pull out. So it was me and Duval, Josh, it might have been Jones, and then Karate. I can't think. It may have been Scotty. I'm not thinking the last one, but so we was in the hotel, right? So it was 6 of us in one room. All right, that's a lot of motherfuckers in one room. That's a lot of big dudes in one room. So we went down, and Duval went down. He came up with some ice cream. I was like, what the fuck is that? So he said, it's a Choco Taco. I was like, oh my God, it looks delicious. This is the night before we competed. And so we went down there and we bought a bunch of Choco Tacos and clapped them. So then, so we went down, we competed or whatever, and then like for the next like couple tournaments, like every time before a match, I would eat a Choco Taco. Every time before a match, I would eat a Choco Taco.
Forgive the ignorance, but I'm imagining like a chocolate taco shell with vanilla ice cream in it.
Yeah, it's like a waffle cone taco, right? Okay. And it has vanilla ice cream in the middle, and it has like it's like covered in chocolate. Like it's just like what the fuck they call it? I don't know, but like covered with like nuts and stuff on it, and then so they're amazing. So like I legit went to Walmart after I weighed in, got a box of Choco Tacos.
After I weighed in, is the key there. Yeah.
And I came back and like sometimes I did clap the whole box of Choco Tacos.
Oh shit, the whole box.
Yeah, I legit clapped.
Farting like a motherfucker.
And they'd make fun of me, of course, and then but I had to clap a whole box of Choco Tacos before I competed. But they're fire. They're amazing. One of the best ice cream sandwiches
Hell
ever.
yeah.
Or tacos.
Oh man, that's silly.
I've never had one. I'm gonna
Ray
try
Renfro
one.
said, "Tell him about it, Drake." Tell him
Who was it?
Ray.
Oh, Ray, my uncle. It's the GOAT.
Oh man, that's silly, man. There are a few weird things that happen before tournaments or competitions where you're just like, you may make decisions where you're like, I don't know why I did that, but I was like in a space in my head where I was either full of anxiety or just full of just like, whatever, that'll make me feel better. I'll kind of do it right now. I got a competition tomorrow. Then you end up eating like a ton of ice cream, throwing up on the mat or something.
The thing we used to do, like we used to go like, because of course we get there a little early to weigh in, and then because weigh-ins would end early, so like you get to go and weigh in before the day of the tournament. Then like we go to Walmart and just fuck around. Like I remember Joe Bays was there too. He probably still has a picture of me. I was riding a bike. It was like probably a 4-year-old bike with like training wheels on it. And then I was skateboarding around, kicking all the toilet paper over in this. In this
Of course. Yeah.
I was skateboarding around the whole Walmart.
What are you gonna do? Fight me?
And we would just do silly stuff like that, just for trying to just have fun, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Try to
So,
relax a little bit.
Exactly, before you
gotta
compete,
get
yeah.
serious. Yeah.
Skip
Makes
town.
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, leaving.
Shit, I got warrants in Tampa,
Man,
bro.
Tennessee back in the day, you never know. But, we did silly stuff like that just to pass time. Like I said, we didn't.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was bad. Like I said, I remember one time me and Josh went and cut weight for his tournament in Nashville, and we sat in the sauna forever. And like, of course, we overcut. So we went down and
Gotta
weighed
have some room for Choco Tacos in there.
so we went down, right? So we went down to the tournament. We weighed in, right? So we weighed in. I was like 4 pounds under. I was like, why do we even do this?
That's way
So
under.
right after we left, we went to this place called King Buffet.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
All right, so there's hot wings on the buffet. It's Chinese food, like, and of course we both got 2 large sweet teas. And like,
Any place there's hot wings and Chinese food, you're about to get fucked up, bro.
So I was sitting there clapping the sweet teas and just eating because I cut weight for like 2 days. Like I was starving,
Yeah.
and I was eating so much. And then I stopped by Arby's on the way out too. To eat. So I got more food from
Damn near
Arby's.
shit your pants as soon as
So-
the first takedown.
So we were driving probably 10 minutes in, right? And I was like, Josh, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up. I said, so he's like, are you for real? I was like I'm about done. So he handed me the Arby's bag. I threw up for like 5
Oh,
minutes,
damn.
everything. And then that was.
I felt so much better.
I was like, hey, I'm probably about 175 again.
Yeah.
But no, I legit threw up everything. I think it was a sweet tea, honestly.
In the old paper bag.
Yeah, it was bad.
Damn.
It was a bad day. All that food.
I can hear Josh saying that. You for real? You for real, bro?
And he was holding the wheel while I was throwing up.
Oh, you were driving?
Yeah,
bro.
No wonder you don't drive no more.
And that was probably like when I was 18, probably. I think I was like 18 at the time. So,
That's
silly.
goofy.
yeah, there's so many silly road trips. Like I said, one day, there's another funny one. It was me, Josh, and Joe Bays back when I think it was probably 18. I told Josh, I was like, let's get some fake bottles, right? And just act like we're drinking on the whole way up. Like,
Oh,
put it in the
shit.
brown bag and
Yeah.
we'll act like we're drinking the whole way up. And then we picked up Joe. And we were like, all right, we're good to go. And then like we had the brown bags and we were just drinking, and it was just sparkling water. And Joe was like, "What are y'all drinking?" I was like, "We just need a drink for the ride." And he was like, "What is it?" I was like, "Some alcohol. You want some?" He was like, "Y'all ain't drinking right now." I was like, so
Yeah, bro, buckle up.
and I was driving, so of course, eventually we made it probably about 2 hours, and he's like, y'all really fucked up, ain't you? I said, nah, we just threw the bottles and said, nah, it's just sparkling water. And then like I said, I was pretty reckless whenever I was driving back in the day.
Yeah.
I was terrible, joking. Probably, and Josh told me stories about me driving. It was bad.
Shit.
Get it, man. That's so.
2 hours with 2 guys supposedly drinking, that's further than I would have fucking gone for sure.
He probably knew we was wilding. Like I said, we was being silly, but like I said, we've been doing it ever since. So we try to make it fun.
That shit's goofy, dude.
Yeah, some of those car rides are reckless. Yeah, I think 13
hours,
in the car.
yeah.
You gotta entertain yourself somehow.
Oh, 100%.
You know, especially with all you guys in the car, you know, you guys are definitely gonna be messing with each other. I know how those long trips go. I remember being traveling on like a bus with like the wrestling team, and like we would end up leaving the school at like 4 a.m. So like everybody's like either falling asleep or already asleep. So there's just a mirage of things you could do to mess with people nonstop, and it's like, you know that like you're gonna have to be serious in like a couple hours, so it's just like, let's just get all this BS.
Bro, that was back in the Nintendo DS days where you had DS
God.
chat though, and you could like write to people on the
Yeah.
bus and like send dick pics.
Oh,
Like
the
drawing
Nintendo DS.
dick
Oh,
pics.
the
Sorry, let me clarify.
Like, damn,
Middle school
Hey.
dick pics are not cool.
You're doing that to the
First
DS?
of all, if you bloom that early, good for you. But if you don't, what are you actually showing?
I mean,
Oh man, that reminds me of like the old Soldier Boy chat back in the day.
Oh, shit.
Back on the computers, like when we go into like the computer lab at school, and then like people would get on the chat rooms, and they would be like talking to other people in the room, as far as like talking smack and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, public school is a problem.
Oregon Trail on the PCE.
Yeah. I thought it was wild. We got laptops when we was freshmen. I was like,
Bro,
oh my God,
how irresponsible.
That's terrible. You
That was
gonna
a-
trust kids on a laptop?
Bro, they
They're
was
14.
taxing too with those screens. Are you kidding me?
Every time, like, the first time it was 25, second time it was 100. I was like, oh my
They're like,
God.
oh, you lost a charger? That's $50.
Yeah.
Like, bro, eBay's got them for 10. You think I don't know?
I was like, you're gonna really trust all these high school students doing what they're doing all day? I was like, you're silly. I played Halo so much.
Yeah. You download Minecraft first day, get a virus. God damn it!
Help desk, here we come.
Yeah.
That's all we did all day.
Help to have a homie at help desk. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, can you swap out my charger? Listen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No stopping getting into freaking trouble, man. Especially back in the day when they give you freaking controller or freaking computers where you can just do whatever you want. And they're like, yeah, we're watching you, but not really watching
Yeah,
you.
We got a proxy on those, but you can definitely bypass it.
I was about to say, like, you really think kids were going to be able to manually find some proxies?
Right.
Like,
Come on now.
You really thought the
Yeah.
kids weren't going to find out, like, how can we beat this? I was like,
Especially with their fucking generic ass shit they put on there. Like, bro, come on.
it was too easy. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Like, I don't know if they stepped it up any, but
They didn't think about it.
I doubt they have.
I guarantee
They're
they
probably
have.
still giving out those Lenovo ThinkPads and.
oh my God. I think,
Yeah, they were wild and gave us MacBooks our first couple
Oh,
of years
shit.
at OHS. And
dang.
yeah, they were wilding for that. I can't believe they did that. And then people started breaking them, and they were like, "Ooh, this is a lot of money.
expensive.
This is a lot of money to replace a MacBook Air. You know, it's like $1,000 a computer." And then whenever the federal funds that were funding that program ran out, they're like, "All right, y'all gonna get cheaper computers. Y'all gonna have to be reusing a couple of different."
I remember we graduated and they were like, "Hey, you can buy those laptops that you've used for 4 years for like $200." I'm like, "Bro, I will literally buy a brand new one for that. How about that?" They're like, "That's unfortunate. We were really banking on you buying that."
Yeah, like, they really expect you after 4 years is just killing it. They expect you
Yeah.
to buy it back. No, that's definitely going to happen.
Dude, it's insane how fast time goes after high school. Like, when I was in high school, I felt like it would never fucking end.
Oh, my God.
And then after high school, it's like, shit, it's been how long, dude?
8 years.
6 years for me, dude. It's
Bro,
like,
fuck.
now we've been out of high school way longer than we were in high school.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
just-
it's hard to think about it, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like, dang, you just think about it yesterday, like, shit, that's my homie from high school. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, we've known each other for 12 years. It's like, damn, it's really 12 years? It's like, God.
Getting old is weird, man.
It is, because
It's
it's
like-
like, just yesterday we was graduating. It's like, now,
Yeah.
8 years later, like, oh, fuck. Like,
Taking your fucking senior pictures and going to the prom and thinking back on what you thought was like an issue
Yeah.
back then, and now you're just like, fuck, dude,
yeah,
who
why
fucking
waste
cares?
your time on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we've spent too much time on stupid shit. And
dude.
it was,
That like popular clothes and shit. I remember trying to like afford Hollister and
yeah, that shit,
shit
was,
like
that's the lot. I was like, man, once I started working on 16, so like I was able to like buy whatever clothes I wanted. But I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't really care. Like I was like, I'm still gonna buy like diamonds upon like whatever, like normal shit. But I was
Right.
like, this is silly. Like people actually give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
once we get out of here, probably won't see half of you.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it even matter? Like it doesn't even fucking matter at the end of the day. So it's like whatever. So I mean, I was just buying jujitsu shit and then
Absolutely.
going to competitions and shit. I was like, fuck it, why not?
I think like the co-op classes helped me like see perspective a lot, where you could leave at 1 o'clock to go to work.
Yeah.
And I would just go to Kroger, part-time job. I loved working those fucking. At the time, it seemed like an insane amount of work that I could just never pull off to work 20 hours a week. And now,
Yeah.
you're working your first full-time job, and then you get kind of down the road in your career, and you're like, fuck, if I could go back to those days.
If I could go back to those 4 to 10
Yeah.
and 4 to 9s, I was like, man, those
I
are
hated
love.
those. I hated those afternoons though, man. One time I had to work 6 to 12. I worked at Kroger. There were
shit.
24 hours back then, and my dad would drop by, bring me a Red Bull. I'd be out there pushing carts in, like,
Oh
fuck.
shit! I didn't like people like I always like love working at like Arby's. Like I worked with a couple of my homies,
Yeah.
and like we would just fuck around all the time. And, like we'd have a good time at work. Like it was like even when I like turned like 18, like I got promoted to shift manager stuff. We would just just have fun and like get the shit done.
They
So
promoted you to shift manager.
When I was 18,
First of
yeah.
all, fuck up.
we're not gonna talk about that.
They regretted that.
That shit. The fucked apart. They promoted me assistant manager too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
They didn't learn.
I was working up the chart. I was going up.
I'm gonna run this bitch in a year. You give me time.
Give me another 2 days. I got this. But I was assistant manager before I went to the bank. So
Yeah.
I mean, and I wasn't making bad. But the thing about it, you have to work like 50 hours there a week.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like, I
Right.
just need a 40 hours. Like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And the hours were shit. It was like you had to close a couple days a week, and then you had to open at 5:30 in the morning. Because I worked at like every Arby's in Owensboro. Like Parrish, I started out on. Then I went to 54. And then I finished off in Frederica. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to U.S. Bank. So.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I totally.
Damn, Chase is drinking too.
I was about to say.
Y'all dogging on me. Chase is like, I'm gonna kick over everything in the room.
It's my room. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, good lord.
We were talking about how fast time goes after high school. Seems like high school lasts forever, and then as soon as you get out, it just fucking flies by. Days go slow, weeks go fast.
Oh, that's
100%.
for sure,
It
man.
seems like.
I was just thinking about that the other day because I was like man, I wonder what happened to so and so and so and so, and I actually ran into one of the people I was thinking about a few weeks ago, and man, I just hated that things didn't pan out the way that they were wanting everything to, and I didn't get a chance to really ask them what was going on or anything, and you know, I asked them about some of the things that they had told me back in high school that they were going to do. And, man, the sadness that came across their face when I asked them, I was like, oh, shouldn't have brought that up.
Yeah, I'm $500,000 in debt and student loans, and
God.
Yeah,
I'm
that
trying
was,
really hard to find something that accepts my liberal arts degree.
Yeah, no.
that's what I felt bad about because I was like, man, you know, there's so many people that, like, they had this idea in their head in high school or college, and they were like, I'm going to do this, this, and that, and then they just, whatever reason along the way, they just lost the motivation, or they just were like, I can't do it anymore, and then they gave up on themselves or whatever it was that they were pursuing. And
The
you know,
biggest kick I ever fucking got is everybody's senior year was always, you know, oh, I'm going to this school. What school are you going to? I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm going to fucking OCTC, and that's if I want to.
Bro,
Like,
I dropped out 3 times.
yeah,
so,
exactly.
so trust me.
And then, like, to go through that, and I'm a college dropout, and then these dudes got their fucking master's degree, and then I catch them at U.S. Bank making the same money as me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like,
fuck, bro.
yes.
What happened, though?
It's totally crazy because like a lot of things like you don't need degrees for most of the shit. Like if you want to do your own thing, like you don't
Yeah.
have to have a degree. Like I don't know, it's just crazy. I never, like I said, I took a year off of high school. Like after I got out of high school, I took a year off and went to school for a year, and then I was like, fuck this, I'm not trying to go to school anymore. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm done. And then I went again for another like 6 months. Fuck it, dropped out again. And I tried it one last time. I was like, well, shit, I'll try.
Yeah.
I tried to do this online school or whatever. I was like, I'm just too busy. I said I was working and training. I was like, this sucks. I didn't want to
Yeah.
do it. I was like, it was hard to find motivation to finish school. I was like, man, school's not for everybody. So I was like, fucking, I'll make it without it. So
I know that my struggle is if I tried the online thing, it's not going to work. I don't have enough discipline. I'll just straight up admit it. I don't have nearly enough discipline to log in every day, see what my homework is, do that shit, turn it back in, all without somebody breathing down my neck. I can't do it.
yeah.
But I also know that I have to work full time, so I can't go to school, like be on campus. So then it's like you're in this catch-22 of, well, neither option kind of really works for you, but you got to do one or the other.
Yeah.
Or you can just get into like a trade and work your way up. So that's kind of where I started out.
Yeah. Same thing with being an airplane mechanic. You got to work your way up and actually on the job training type shit. So you got to kind of get your licenses and then keep working your way up. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing with that. So I mean, like I said, I took a test flight on Luke Bryan's jet before. Like,
Hell yeah.
Like legit, I was on Luke Bryan's jet, fucking 14,000 feet up, just up there chilling. Like I was like, all right, cool, hell yeah. I was like, so I mean, certain like that don't happen often, but I mean, shit like that happens. Like hell yeah, I was on Luke
Shit, if
Bryan.
I was you, I'd be like, yeah, it's every weekend,
I should
baby.
be like,
you want to come ride on Luke Bryan's jet?
I got the key. What's up? No,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, shit, I put a note in there. I was like, you need to do a feeture with Ace Hood. I might like you.
That's silly. You'd be losing your shit if he did, though. You'd be like, yo, hold up.
Hold the fuck. I got to rethink things.
Yeah, hold up. I set that up. Hold up.
Yeah.
I'll let that
Am
in the
I a
bottom of that
producer?
bottle. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need some type of royalties from that.
Give me some compensation over here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That definitely goes to show though, you can't like force yourself or other people to do things they don't want to do, man. Like, if you don't want to go to school, if you don't want to like go and like spend money to learn certain things, then you're not going to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you can physically force yourself to do things and suffer through things, good for you. But I know so many people that like in the same situation you were talking about, where they went to school for all this debt because they were like, oh, well, this is what I thought I was supposed to do, but not necessarily what I wanted to do. And now I owe $70,000 in
It's
debt.
what gets pounded in your head.
And I don't want to do that stuff anymore. And it's just like, you know, me as a single guy, you know, growing up and like figuring out what it is that like I want to do with myself and like what I actually enjoy doing. And like now I'm like lucky enough to have a position where I make enough money to do all the hobbies that I want to do, you know, and like not have to worry about, you know, am I going to be able to eat? Am I going to be able to do all this stuff? Like, I'm like in a position where I can do all my hobbies and do a job where I'm not like absolutely miserable and just like crying in a corner every day. So like, I'm like, man, it doesn't take $1 million a year to make me happy. What really makes me happy is being able to do the things I want to do. And then it's like, look, I understand I'm going to have responsibilities. I understand I'm going to have to do things I don't want to do. But if those can pale in comparison in the things in it that it enables me to do, I'm totally fine. You know,
100%.
it's like, you know, so many people that work their ass off and like make all the money they need, but they still don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. So they just find themselves at home watching videos and watching Netflix and not doing anything they want to do because they're like, well, you know, I wanted to do this or I wanted to do that, but I never put myself into it. Even though I have the money and the time to do it, I still got to work full time, so I don't really have time. So they just make excuses.
Yeah.
You know, they make excuses for all the hobbies they wanted to do. So it's like, did you actually really want to do that?
Exactly.
Or
I know, like, especially in your case, anything that allows you to keep going with this coke habit is just aces.
Jacob,
Damn,
you said you wouldn't bring up the coke on the podcast.
You got coke?
Shit, now it's a party. Cut the fucking stream, bro.
Yeah, cut the stream.
We
cut
up
the
all
stream.
night, bro.
We're
I ain't
going.
going to sleep tonight.
Listen, I'm calling in tomorrow.
Shit.
They're gonna be upset.
Call the cops now because we getting that jump on it.
As in coke, you mean Bible study? Yes, I have been
I mean,
keeping up with my
Coca-Cola
Bible.
during our Bible study. Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for people that are like stuck in a situation where they're doing something that they hate to do and that they're not being paid enough to do it, and then they still can't do the things they want to do, so they're juxtaposed to where they have to do shit they don't like and they can't do the things they do like, so they're just this constant civil war in
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
where they just hate everything around themselves because they're like, I want to do this, but I can't, and, you know, I'm going to take it out on everybody else. And it's like, you know, man, if you're in that bad of a spot, you should really do something to help yourself.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
It's that 9 to 5 mentality, though.
That's the Walmart employees right now during quarantine, bro. They got too much fucking ahead of themselves. I'm telling you right now, those motherfuckers like, oh no, can't go that way. Oh no, can't go into there. Oh no, like, bro, fuck you. I'm gonna do what I want. How about that?
Yeah, it's that 9 to 5 mentality though. Like people like, oh shit, all I have is this 9 to 5 and that's it. Like I've never thought that. Like, okay, I work 9 to 5, but I still got 6
Yeah.
hours. I got 6 hours before I go to bed.
Exactly.
So it's like that's where you build your other shit.
you get it.
That's where you get your other shit. Like I said,
Yeah.
if you're not willing to, like, of course, you have to have that one thing that pays the bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have the other thing. Like if you're really trying to do something else or you're really trying to change something, okay, now you go to something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if you don't want to do that, then you're just wasting those 6 hours every day after work.
Yep.
So-
Especially, like, I know so many people that do jobs they don't want to do, and then they just settle for those jobs because they can get them.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to see that because, like, a lot of times when you settle for a certain thing, you're not able to get the things you actually want. You're just like, this will keep me from being in too much pain, so I'll just hang out here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very rarely can you find a position where you can do the things you want, and then it's like, look, I got to be responsible and do this and do that. But at the same time, it's like there's so many people that like don't find that balance, and it's like, man, I feel like if you just go after what you want as hard as you can, a lot of times it will pan out better for you than if you just, this is as good as it's going to get from me.
Yeah.
You know, even if you fail, at least at the end of the day, you can say, you know what? I tried. You know,
Yeah.
that dream that I wanted, even though it didn't pan out, I found out why it didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only be like, okay, it didn't pan out because of this. Did I do the thing that needed to be done so I could? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You know,
if you
like-
didn't, then you go back to it.
Yeah,
Figure,
then
figure
it's
out,
just
what,
like,
figure out
I-
what you need to do and then come right back to it.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's that hustler's ambition. Like I said, 50 Cent die trying. Like I said, I'm going to die trying to change what I need to do. Like I said, it's not about the money. It's about what we do, like the legacy you leave behind.
Yep.
It's not about all the money you make. All right,
Yeah.
anybody can go, work fucking 24 hours a day and make money. But it's like, what type of legacy are you going to leave behind to help change stuff?
Exactly.
I was like, that's the aspect I'm looking on in life. Like if I'm here, if I don't try to change anything, then what am I doing? So it's like, and of course, any platform you have, you need to realize like if you can have the ability to change something in a positive aspect, you need to do it. If you're not, then you're not helping any at all. So
Yeah. I get it, man. I just hate to see it because like so many people are stuck in that rut. Like so many people are stuck in the this is as good as it's gonna get for me rut. And it's just like it's only as good as you're going to allow it to be. You know, if you're gonna allow this, that's what's gonna continue. You know, if you're gonna go out there and chase your dreams, go out and chase what it is that is meaningful to you, then whether or not you obtain those things, at least at the end of the day, you can say, I tried, man. I went. I gave what I had, For whatever reason, I wasn't able to get it, or maybe you were able to get it. More power to you. But if you're not able to get it, at least you tried, man.
Yeah.
There's so many people that don't try. And
Drake's
still,
MMA career.
What? Talking smack? What?
I said Drake's MMA career.
No.
Yeah.
hey, that's gonna happen. Like I said, I hope a lot of people are surprised with the outcome because
I was so too, man. I mean,
Listen, when I tune in for Nick Diaz versus Drake Renfro, that's when I'll be surprised.
You,
know what
you
I'm
putting
saying?
high hopes on me. Shit, I'm just trying to win a couple amateurs or something, see where it goes. Shit, that's the first goal.
man,
Shit.
I really hope that pans out the way you expect it to. And I mean, you're the kind of guy who has the mentality to succeed in anything you do, just because you know that it's going to take hard work. You know it's going to take sweat. You know it's going to take tears. You know you're going to fail. You're not one of those people that the moment you don't get exactly what you want, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And if you were, you wouldn't be in the position you're
Exactly.
in now to like look at all the things you want to do and be like, it's right there.
Yeah.
Even your cousin was talking about it. He was just like, I've been trying to get it, trying to get it.
That
He's
man's
like,
been in my ear since I was fucking
right. So
12.
and
He's been in my ear since I was like 12. Like,
right. So like, he wouldn't think all those things if you were just some bum. If you weren't training hard, if you weren't doing all the things you needed to do, he'd be like, yeah, he would have.
No one's saying that to me, by the way. So I feel like it's a good point that Chase is making right now. No one's pressuring me about the UFC.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, there's so many people that don't have the motivation, but still want all the reward. They still want all the glory. I mean, like some people get lucky, man. Some people just
people get lucky.
Some people just get lucky and like they don't put in the amount of work and the amount of hours that other people do, and they still end up in the same position. Sometimes that can happen.
It can happen.
It can, but
Your cousin
you-
just texted. He said he's a bum.
Oh, shit.
okay.
But
The thing is, it's like you can't rely on that. I might be the lucky one. I'm gonna be different. You can rely on the I'm gonna be different, but you got to also be willing to be like, I'm gonna make myself different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just gonna happen to be different, because that doesn't happen. That's a fairy tale, man.
Yeah.
All the people that are just like, man, one day I woke up, I'm the baddest fighter alive. No.
it doesn't happen.
Never happens. Never with anybody. There may be some people that pick up on it easier. There may be some people that, understand certain things better than others just because the way that their brain is set up and the life that they lived. But you got the work hours have to be there.
Yeah, you gotta put in the work. I guess that's like one of the things like I always try to instill in people. If you put time in, you like so you show up, put time on the mats, you'll get what you want. Like I said, if you don't put the time in, you won't. Like I said, I'm grinding to get everything I want. So like I said, and of course I won't talk about it all the time. It's like I'm grinding to get to where, like I said, we're gonna make stuff happen. Like I said, it might take a little time because it's Corona stuff, but
Yeah.
like I said, we'll make it happen.
Gordon Ryan is Drizzy Daddy.
Who said that?
I guess your cousin.
Oh god.
It's the 812 number still.
Oh god, he's wrecked.
This is a text-in show too, apparently.
Oh dang. He's still watching.
Gordon Ryan is
Tell him to
Drizzy's
respond
daddy.
to my phone calls every once in a while.
Ooh, damn.
No, I just talked to him the other day, so I'm smoking. Like I said, I'm just like I said, the fighting will come. Of course, I talked about it with like the Josh and everybody. That's what I want to do, but that's just not the focus right now because how are we gonna focus on it?
I'll ask you this. So if everything went perfectly, so like from today on out, if everything went perfectly in your vision, what would the future look like as far as your jiu-jitsu career and your MMA career? Like if tomorrow they were just like, go back to life.
Okay.
Like, what would it look like to you? This is your personal, I mean, whether
Step
or
by
not,
step. What's
Yeah.
the plan?
What
What's the
does it
layout?
look
Let's
like
hear
to you?
it.
He's calling me right now.
Oh.
I'm not answer, but all right.
You gotta call this number if you want to get on.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying like the goal, like say, what would like say end goal?
The
Like, of
end goal
course,
that you believe you can achieve yourself.
Oh, 100%. Obviously, either I want to go pro. Like I said, it doesn't matter in any aspect of the like any organization. Like I said, Bellator's dope. If you get a Bellator MMA fighter, that's amazing. If you get a UFC fighter, that's amazing. Even won championships. Look what Gary Tonin did.
Yeah.
Gary Tonin took over that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like,
took it over.
what are you supposed to do? Like so like I said, one of those organizations would be perfect. Like I said, jiu-jitsu, definitely trying to go to ADCC. So next step is do ADCC trials, win that. Like I said, and everything from Owensboro, not moving anywhere else out of Owensboro. Because like I said, out of the city, I wasn't born here, but this is where I grew up since I was 6. So like this is like
Your
I said,
home.
this is my home. So it's like, so that's where I want
Hear
to
that,
go.
Johnny Depp?
Hey. So that would be the goal, and of course, and not just like I said, like I have some ideas, like I said, boosting the community, like things in the work. Like I said, I'm gonna do an indoor skate park eventually.
yeah.
So like
Hell
I got a lot of ideas, like I said, trying to help the city and grow, because like you can't instill like, so say even like I said, fund certain leagues and stuff. So like of course some kids may not be able to afford certain things. So like I said, provide all uniforms, provide shoes, provide everything, provide the games, provide the refs, provide the coaches. You have your own league that's taken care of, and there's no parents not pay nothing. You have to be able to give a kid a dream at a young age, so they're looking forward to something growing up. Because if they don't have no type of discipline, no type of stuff, no dream to look forward to, like, oh, I want to play basketball, but I can't. Well, we got to try to give them the opportunity to do that. Or if I just want to skate, you can't skate every day in Owensboro, Kentucky. The weather's fucked. Like I said, okay, we got a skate park in Chautauqua, but it's like, we gonna skate in the rain. You gonna skate when it's fucking 12 degrees out in the winter for 6 months. Like, so it's like, you have to have an indoor place to like give these kids the opportunity to, chase their dreams.
I've been fucking with it too much. To listen
So it's like, so there's certain things I want to do. Like I said, jiu-jitsu, MMA wise, that would be the dream, of course. I said ADCC, go to ADCC, and then
shit.
and then of course, be a pro fighter. What do you think?
I ain't even gonna read that one, bro. That
I
was
wouldn't either. It's probably trash.
Slightly not okay.
Yeah, I would.
It says,
He's gonna read it anyway.
you know,
Don't do
it
it.
says, you know what happened to the last man that had a dream? the F or the
I
CIA
don't know
killed
who
him.
said
Is that what it
I
was?
don't know who said that.
Oh, there's a random number texting me.
Oh no, man, it might have been the CIA. It might have been letting you know.
Yeah.
Letting you know.
Snowden texting in.
Yeah,
The last man who had a dream, his dream was accomplished. How about that?
100%.
Don't let anything.
Maybe like 90.
99.
We getting there.
Yeah, we getting there.
We're making
Yeah, but-
progress.
I mean, those are definitely noble goals, man. I think, if you're grinding at the way that you are grinding now, you should have no issue with accomplishing those at any point in your life. Like I said, I mean, I've seen you train. I've seen you, like, the dedication that you have in your personal life to.
He called us soft.
I've seen, the way that you've behaved whenever you're faced with adversity. And man, people would literally kill to have the drive that you have. And the sad thing about all that is that they can have the drive that you have.
100%.
They just have to be willing to show your vulnerability, show the steps that it takes. It doesn't take a genius to figure these things out.
No, it don't.
Everyday people can figure these things out. It's just a matter of whether or not you're willing to go through the grind, whether or not you're willing to say, hey, I care about this community. I care about the people here more than me getting famous and showing off and having a yacht and all this stuff like that. Because to some people, that's all they care about. And that's fine. If all you want is to have a nice ass house, a nice ass boat, to do whatever you wanted, I have no problem with that. That's part of the American dream.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you also just want to make everyone around you better, what's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Right? You're going to be rewarded with the fact that you're getting to see all the homies and all the people you care about succeed.
Exactly.
Because instead of being like, all right, now I'm rich, like I ain't got to worry about these weights holding me down, you're like, man, everybody around me has played an integral role into, oh man, I murdered that word, into making me in the man that I am today. Instead of saying, oh, well, they were just what I used to get to the point I am now.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love to see that attitude out of you, because I know you're a good driven guy who actually wants to succeed in your goals. And like, I've seen so many negative people. Like, it seems to be like a epidemic, and I hate to use that word in this time period, but there's an epidemic of people that want to blame everybody but right. They want to blame everybody but themselves.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to wake up and realize, like, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Like I said, if you wake up and you say, I just want to be rich, I just want to have this, this, and this. All right, what are you doing to get there? All right, if you're not doing what you need to get there, then you probably need to change that goal.
Fucking NBA player.
I mean, hey. If you
listen on the court, it's proven. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if
come out with a makeup line.
if you like I said, you gotta wake up and realize, like, what do you really want to do? And then if it's really want to change the community, give people opportunities, all right, do that. All right, but if you want to, like I say, you have a certain goal and like you don't put the time and effort into it, then you're just wasting a lot of time doing nothing.
So you'd probably say that the most important rule with all of this comes down to being honest with yourself first and foremost.
100%. Like I said, you got to be honest with yourself. If you're not, then you're not going to be able to do anything. You're not going to trust anything. And I've been thankful enough to have the people around me to help keep me honest. Like I said, my homies, they'll keep me in check. If I do something fucked up, stupid, they'll tell me, yo, you probably fucked up doing something stupid. like my homies would be like, yo, you dumb
accountability.
Yeah, accountability, like I said. And I expect the same from, like, if they did something stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, they probably expected the same from me. Like, yo, I probably did something stupid. Like, let me know. Or, like, what's your opinion on this? Like, we'll talk about it. Like, no, we maybe should have said it this way or something. But it's like, I expect my homies, if I fuck up, I expect to have all the smoke. Like, I expect to have, that's why I try. I'm on the low. I try not to do nothing stupid. I'm just like, I always hit them like, no, I'm not doing this, because I know my homies will keep me accountable.
Yeah.
And I'm, like I said, I'm blessed to have that. And like I said, I would do the same for them. If, like, something reckless happened, like, don't answer that.
The man has spoken.
He said he's banned from TCP.
But
He's been texting in.
he's probably talking reckless. So like I said, I'm like I said, I can't like say enough of who I've been with since I was 16. Like, I wouldn't be here where I'm at because, like, without them. So they know who, of course, they are, the whole OGs and everything at the gym. Like I said, they've been with me since I was 16. You think I was a 16-year-old kid? I didn't know what the fuck I wanted. Like I said, I was just like, fuck, I was trying to train jiu-jitsu. I don't know what the fuck it is anyway. I'm just trying to train, like, whatever. We're in there just beating each other up for no reason. Mm-hmm. And then I found out the reason why we're doing it, and I was like, oh shit, I enjoy it. So it's like, so now, like, of course.
He said he wants for real answers.
Nah.
All right,
Oh
let's
God,
see.
here we go.
All right. You're live on TCP.
Yeah. So, anyways, what I'm getting at. All right, this is full nasty.
Oh, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah. And then looking at following Drake, and he has a young girl that he's took under his belt.
Literally.
And my question is, what does he have planned for this young girl that he's been training?
That's my little homie. Like I said, she's been training with since the beginning, Madison, you know. She's a little homie. She's straight savage, straight monster. So she just wants to, I told her I want her to be better than I am in every aspect.
That's all I got.
All right, yeah. So, but yeah, I want her to be better. Like I said, any student, like I said, that comes up and is like, I want to be. This is my goal. I said, I'm gonna try to make you better than what I was. So,
Hey
I
man, there's been a couple of times I've been scared. I've been like fighting everything, every move, everything I got just to stay alive with her. So she's been working, man. She's been learning.
Yeah.
I remember a few times I came into the gym and she was there after hours working. I'm just like, that's somebody who wants it.
Yeah, no, like I said,
That's not a parent pushing them. That's not anybody pushing them but themselves.
Yeah, like I said, if you like this is your goal, I'm there to help you get to the goal. That's my little homie. Like that's their fam. Like I said, their family. That little homie. That's
You
young.
can see it.
Like,
You
that's-
can see it.
That's my little homie. Like I want her to be better than what I ever thought I would ever be. So it's like like I said, they want to put in the work. We put in the work.
She
Hell
keep
yeah,
putting in
man.
that work. She's gonna be subbing dudes. Doesn't matter what age they are or what
Yeah.
belt they are. She's got skills, and that's awesome to see that somebody has been able to like strike that chord with you to show you that like, hey, look, I'm in this for real. And
Yeah.
like you expect like some burly, crazy jack dude that's just like, I'm trying to fight. But it ain't like that. Like
No.
that's the thing is it's people who want it who are gonna show up.
Yeah,
It's not the
exactly.
jack dudes. It's not the people who show up and are just like, yeah, I want to be a fighter, blah blah blah. It's just the people who show up every single day and who like, you know, they don't brag about it. They don't sit there and like run around to all their homies like, yo, I'm gonna be a fucking cage fighter. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that. They just
Nick.
do. They just shut. Huh? I don't know any guy named that.
What's his name?
Nick.
Nick,
Which
is
one?
there? Do I know
What's
a
his last
Nick?
name?
I don't know a Nick.
Callaway,
You-
Phelps, something like that.
You tell me what his name is. It's,
I need to see his social.
but like seriously, you know better than anybody else. And there's people that will go out there and be like, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, and then where you at though? Well, you know, I ain't seen you in a few months, but you're talking all this stuff and. You're talking all that stuff, but not doing all that stuff. So,
Exactly.
and it's like you don't even have to say anything.
I don't, like I said, of course, like I said, when we were talking about, like, when you saw me at the bar that one night, and I was like, of course, we was just chilling. I was a normal person. I was like, of course, you see people, I was like, oh, I want to come do this, this, and this. I was like, but do you really, though?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm tired of chilling with my homies. You're out
Yeah.
here, this is what you do.
He was just in full gi.
yeah, I was like,
Just chilling at the
I was,
bar.
I was in my gi in the bar. I don't know what was going on. I just got down to the gym. I was like, all right, I'm just hanging out. I was like,
I'm just chilling, drinking a beer.
yeah, one of my
Fucking
homies told me to
brown
come
belt
hang out.
hanging.
Yeah, so I was like, it's whatever. But no, I was like, of course you see people like that all the time. It's like, man, if you really want to do something, just do it. Like I said, I'll give you 100% for support. Like support. I don't care like who you are.
That's crazy because I've seen you guys go 100% on guys you could tell that were 50% or 40%, and y'all are like, look, if you want this, this is how it's gonna be.
100%.
Like we're not gonna pretend with you like you're just some like enigma, like you're some prodigy that's just gonna be perfect one day without any kind of practice. You guys are like, look, this is what it looks like to be good. Like just not even to be great, but just to be good, you got to do this.
Yeah.
And like you'll see the people that aren't dedicated disappear.
Yeah.
You'll see the folks that are just saying that as something to say rather than something they believe in,
Yeah.
and you'll see that in their actions rather than their words.
It's an ego thing, 100%.
For sure.
You gotta understand, like, man, these dudes are fucking me up. But then, are you gonna come back the next day and be like, I'm coming for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta check that shit at the door,
Yeah,
man.
I'm saying, like, you gotta be like, all right, when I'm gonna do everything I can to fuck them up. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta come, like, and of course, when we train, like I said, upper belts and everything, like, if you're not coming at me 100%, like, we're not doing anybody any favors. Like I said, if I'm not coming at, say me and Josh are on. If we're not
With technique, let's
With technique,
clarify a little bit. Yeah.
So if we're not going with each other 100%,
Yeah.
we're not doing each other any favors. We're wasting time. Like we
Right.
need to be trying to go at it, like,
Right.
because that's gonna make us better at the end of the day. So we know that. So it's like we'll never get mad at each other. You'll see us probably fucking laughing while we're rolling, because it's like we know, like we're having fun. Like we've been doing this forever. So it's like we remember when it was 1 o'clock in the morning after I got off work at Arby's and he got off work at the bank, and fucking we'd be in my garage fucking 2 degrees, rolling in the geese when it was blue
Right.
belts. So it's like we don't care. Like we know it's fun. Like we're supposed to have fun, but we need to be pushing each other. That's the only way we can get better. So like I said, a lot of people don't realize that. Like if you want to get good, you're gonna have to push us to the next. Like I want you to push me like 100%. So that's how I look at it.
I mean, I like I said, I have the utmost respect for the guys that have been able to get to that tier, because it's like it doesn't take not necessarily just an amount of effort, but mental dedication, physical dedication. You're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get bumped, you're gonna get in positions where you don't want to be in, but at the same time, like, man, the worst nights that I've had at Gracie's where I've just gotten subbed by literally everybody that I rolled with. At the end of the day, I was like, tomorrow, though.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Oh,
though.
I see what you did.
Tomorrow, you ain't going to get that same move. You ain't going to be able to just move like that on me tomorrow. But you might have got me tonight, but not tomorrow.
Maybe you north-south me every day for like a week.
I
see what you did.
Those are the best nights, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like very quickly, that I was like, man, the nights I have the best time in there where like I get just destroyed by all my partners, I'm like, you know what? I want to come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because all right, you're not going to get to half guard that easily. I'm not going to make that same mistake where I just gave up the position before, and I feel like the days that I get in there and like I do really well with all my sparring partners, I'm like, I'm starting to get a hang of this. But then the next day I just get smashed and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I'm like, I'm also comfortable in the fact that like, if I don't know something, I can just ask somebody there and they'll be like, that's what you were doing wrong. I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. It's not like where I'm in a position where like, oh, the instructor can't help me, blah, blah. I'm not training for a fight, so they don't care about me. Like, I'm sure there's huge gyms out there that like the coaches don't pay any attention to their students, where they're only focused on the people that are fighting and making them money. But like, that's one of the best things about Gracie Owensboro is like, every coach will give you the same amount of attention that you're willing to give them. If you show them, any of the guys in there, that you want to get better at a certain thing, they will absolutely show you the proper way, the proper technique,
100%.
Everything that they can do to make you better at whatever it is that you're trying to get better at.
If you don't smack that bottle right now.
Oh my gosh, Drake, you're wild.
You don't
As long as
smack
you
it.
got a rod, man, I don't give a
Hey,
shit
don't
what you do with that
don't
bottle.
pour that shit in the cup.
I got
smack that
I
bottle.
didn't finish mine.
Smack it.
No,
You haven't even finished
Right here. Hey,
yours?
listen,
man.
listen. We're about T-minus 8 minutes till we got to end this bitch anyway. Go ahead and
I
smack
can't
that bottle.
smack that.
Don't
Smack
smack
it.
Don't make
do
this
it.
man spit
That's-
out.
Hey,
of
listen.
the
If Tony's still watching, you gonna let him down?
Hey, ask if Tony's still watching. We'll find out.
Tony, don't make him do
Oh
it.
shit.
Don't make him do
Tony,
it.
if you don't call in right now, tell Drake.
Oh, God.
You know, it's the
Tell
only
Drake
way.
to smack
I
that
don't think-
fucking
I don't
Ciroc.
think the man is on here. I can't.
He
Hey,
may be in or out. There's been a few been in here since
Listen.
since the beginning.
listen. It don't matter if he's in here or not. Okay, that is your fucking Ciroc.
No,
all right.
hey, go ahead. I'm gonna pour you one because you've been slow.
Nah,
sipping
bro.
since
I gotta
the-
drive home, dog.
My ride can give you a ride home.
Listen, OPD does not like me driving home drunk. They don't. They frown upon it.
I mean, 112%.
I don't
But
care what you do.
think about
Just
it.
be safe.
Oh, 100 I can give you a
Tony
ride.
said it's just Kool-Aid.
Oh
See,
my
exactly, bro. Tony done called you fuck out, bro. All right, listen. Outro for TCP. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drake is about to smack the rest of Ciroc on the outro. Chase says thank you for tuning in.
I'm a terrible influence if I do this.
No,
I'm a
you're not,
terrible influence if I
bro.
do
No,
this.
this is what we do on the show. Kids don't watch the show. We're gonna have a new tabletop coming to y'all soon. We got the fucking vinyl back down on the floor. You probably can't see it. Drake, thank you so much for coming
Hey,
in
it's
today,
a pleasure.
man.
Thank you
Always
guys.
a pleasure,
Chase,
dude.
Jacob, thank you guys. And then thank you for everything you do for the podcast. But appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
Hell
you
yeah,
too,
man.
We will see you all
Hey,
again.
at least chug it until Chase ends the live stream.
All right, we
All
better
right, turn
start-
up. All right, let's go.
Thumbs up. Thumbs
Let's
up.
get it.
There it
Thank you
is.
guys for tuning in. TCP every Wednesday at 6.